It's a group of unicorns. Almost said the uniforms. Group of unicorns called 215-263-WMMR. We're going to go to Oliver to try and find the answer. Yo, Oliver, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, buddy. So what do you call a group of unicorns?
I'm going to go with a blessing.
A blessing.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? But that's true. Hang on,
I guess 'cause
Oliver.
they're so ethereal.
Yeah, we're going to give you, sir, a 4-pack of tickets for Star Wars, the Star Wars game on Saturday, November 18th at 1 p.m. Flyers are taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. You can get your tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
You know, the greatest on-screen depiction, I think, of unicorns is in the movie Legend.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, it's just beautiful photography, amazing. And they're real.
Matthew Perry did not think that it was a good idea to have his friend's character Chandler cheat on Courtney Cox's character Monica. He rejected the idea, which the show writers had planned. So this is according to Lisa Cash, the actress who was supposed to play his mistress. She spoke to TMZ about the scrapped scene in an interview that was published yesterday. She said the scene was Chandler and Monica were arguing in Vegas about Monica having lunch with her ex-boyfriend, Richard, who was played by Tom Selleck.
Right.
And she said, and in our script, Chandler goes up to the hotel room. He orders room service. I bring it up as a hotel worker. We end up talking and laughing and connecting, and Chandler ends up cheating on Monica with my character. She said, we rehearsed it, and the day before we were supposed to shoot it in front of a live audience, I was told that Perry went to the writers and said the fans will never forgive Chandler for cheating on Monica. He's right.
I think he's right. So Ross had we were on a break. Remember that? So and that played well. But I don't think the dynamic, especially the way they cultivated that relationship, would have worked.
Yeah, I think it would have made his character that people wouldn't have looked at him the same way.
Yeah,
So.
and that can happen. You can look at, for Christ's sake, for Felicity, she cut her hair and it ruined everything.
Yeah, some things can ruin a character. So I think he would have been right in that regard. Serena Williams, a tennis legend, told a glittery fashion industry audience how fashion became a favored mode of expression as she grew up in the public eye, with the tennis court serving as her runway. Williams, who retired from tennis last year, is the first athlete to win the Fashion Icon Award. And it was presented to her by Kim Kardashian.
I thought it was John Madden.
It was not John Madden. It was the Council of Fashion Designers of America that presented her. And Kim was the CFDA honoree last year. Kim called Williams fearless, heroic, authentic, iconic, the greatest of all time. The fashion industry's equivalent of Oscar Night was held at the American Museum of Natural History in Manhattan.
God, I so want to go to that.
It was hosted. Listen, you would have wanted to be there.
Would I?
It was hosted by Anne Hathaway. In Top Designer Awards, Catherine Holstein, or it might be Stein, but it's not Holstein.
Like a pig.
Well, I don't know. How do you spell Holstein?
A
You
cow.
remember Holstein, the famous
H-A...
Okay, this is Holstein.
Okay.
Anyhow, she won
Holstein.
Of the label Katie and was named Women's Wear Designer of the Year, and Willie Chavaria won for menswear. The award for accessories went to Ashley Olsen and Mary-Kate Olsen.
Not Kathy Romano for her collection.
No.
That's wild. Kath, I thought you had it.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Casey.
And this is for their label called The Row. Among other honors, Gwyneth Paltrow accepted the Innovation Award for Goop, her 15-year-old lifestyle brand that was presented by Demi Moore. There were a lot of celebs at this.
Yeah, they were.
Vanessa Hudgens presented a tribute from the CFDA Board of Directors to Vera Wang for her impact on the bridal industry. Designer Maria Cornejo won a Lifetime Achievement Award, and that was presented by Laura Linney. There was also a tribute to the 50th anniversary of hip-hop.
Wait, I have an opportunity to play a Laura Linney clip.
Oh, okay.
Wah, 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 wah.
Nice.
Big Wawa fan. There's also a tribute to the 50th anniversary of hip-hop with a short film by director Hype Williams. That was introduced by Mary J. Blige and music by Pharrell.
So is this televised?
I don't think so, no. No. So Williams studied fashion during her playing career, and in 2018, she launched her S by Serena clothing line, which she said in her speech was intended to inspire women to embrace their bodies and love who they are, no matter their size, race, or income. Among her many thank yous, she saved her last for her mother, and she said, for actually making those first tennis outfits when I was young.
That's wild.
She said, watching her sew created this creativity in me that I still have to this day.
My mother sewed my first radio clothes.
You know, and you still carry that sense of fashion today, Steve. She really set that in motion. This is the FDA award.
These are called winter shorts.
Yeah.
The CFDA Awards are presented by Amazon Fashion. So it was a big event, and Serena Williams won the Icon Award. So good for her. Megan Fox is getting real about the nature of relationships.
I wish she wouldn't.
The actress spoke with People in an interview published on Monday.
Just People in the magazine.
About her is a People magazine.
Okay.
In an interview published on Monday about her new book of poems titled Pretty Boys Are Poisonous.
Oh, my God.
She told the outlet relationships are complicated. For most of us, it's not a fairy tale. Relationships are not pretty. They are ugly. Sometimes they are war. But through a wound enters an opportunity to grow and become a stronger, more whole version of yourself.
She's talking about finger blasting.
Fox also said that she left some of her heavier poems out of the book. She said, I didn't even bother sending the majority of what I wrote to my editor because they were too graphic or unsettling for others to read.
Is there a sample there? Did they give any sample of her prose?
Not in this one. I didn't see anything in this story, Stephen.
Did they show the room full of monkeys that sat at the typewriters?
No pictures of monkeys were present in the article.
No?
There's a forward, Preston, and it's up.
Monkey!
Do you want me to read this?
Yeah, please.
All right, it says these poems were written in an attempt to excise the illness that had taken root in me because of my silence. I've spent my entire life keeping the secrets of men. My body aches from carrying the weight of their sins. Wow. My freedom lives in these pages, and I hope that my words can inspire others to take back their happiness and their identity by using their voice to illuminate what's been buried but not forgotten in the darkness.
What the hell are you talking about?
So this is a forward, I guess?
Wow, the forward is pretty deep.
I don't want to prejudge. I mean, maybe she's a decent writer. I'd be interested to hear.
She might be the next F. Scott Fitzgerald.
I don't know about that.
F him.
As far as how she expects the book to receive, she said, I've been in the public eye for a long time, and my career has been one long witch hunt. So nervous? No. I expect a mixture of admiration and vitriol from the public, she said. So we shall see when it comes out.
What a talent.
During a recent interview with Harper's Bazaar, Jenna Ortega discussed representation in Hollywood. The Wednesday actress, who is Mexican and Puerto Rican descent, shared that when she was younger, she found it really hard to land roles. She said, as a child actor, you're either the younger version of someone or you're playing someone's daughter. And there were not many leading Hispanic actors who I could be that for. She even considered dyeing her hair blonde to, quote, look like Cinderella, but she decided against it. She said, I don't want other young girls to look up to the screen and feel like they have to change their appearance to be deemed beautiful or worthy.
She's been working for a long time, though. She started doing, I think she was 4 when she started doing commercial work.
Yeah, something like that.
By the way, when is the new season of Wednesday coming?
It's a good question. I don't know. And I was thinking about that. It's going to be a hard act to follow, man. They're going to have to be really creative to make it just as engaging. I fell in love with that show. But it had Tim Burton, so, you know.
Had a cliffhanger of sorts.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The question is, I would like to go back to the school scenario. I don't think we need to go home.
Yeah.
You know, we had an entire series that was at home.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of, because the supporting schoolmates were so engaging. I want to see more of them too.
Right.
I wish the headmistress,
yeah.
You know,
spoiler alert. Yeah, I agree.
But Steve, I mean, with the writer's strike and the actor's strike, they can't even been working on it forever, right?
Yeah.
Nick, this is you and I. We got to step in and start writing.
Okay.
Hey, question about that. Are these people that are out of work as writers, are they writing on their own? Just
so they're not.
They got to be, right?
They're not supposed to. But the big thing is, and I've heard a number of writers say this, they continue to write anyway.
They would have to.
So
just to be ready when this is over.
Exactly. The last thing they want to do is have to deal with an avalanche of demands the second this wraps up. Now, yesterday, the actors, the SAG strike, was supposed to be wrapping up, and the SAG issued a statement saying they are not budging on this AI. The producers and the movie companies were saying this was the final offer. So I have a feeling it's going to be going on for quite a while.
All right. She also commented on the complexity involved in representing a specific population. She said, I wasn't born in a Spanish-speaking country. I haven't spent a lot of time in Mexico. I've never been to Puerto Rico. So there's a feeling that not being worthy enough to be a proper representative. And she said, I want all people of Latin descent to be able to see themselves on screen, and I want to feel that I could help open doors for other people. So that's where her mind is at. Doc Antle. Pleaded guilty Monday to federal conspiracy and money laundering charges 3 years after he rose to fame in Tiger King.
You know who's playing him in the movie?
No.
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega. Yeah. She is so versatile. Antle pleaded guilty to conspiracy to violate the Lacey Act and a conspiracy to launder money, the United States Department of Justice said in a news release. U.S. District Court Joseph Dawson, who accepted Antle's guilty plea, said that he will sentence Antle after receiving and reviewing a sentencing report. He faces a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison, a fine of up to $250,000 and 3 years of supervised release for each count. The Attorney General, Todd Kim, said the defendant held himself out as a conservationist, yet repeatedly violated laws protecting endangered animals and then tried to cover up those violations.
He really was, as they were all, scumbags who severely mistreated animals.
Yeah.
That said, when the series came on, and at the point in time at which it came on, we needed that.
Yeah. Without question. I agree. It was pretty spectacular at that moment. They said this prosecution demonstrates our commitment to combating illegal trafficking, which threatens the survival of endangered animals. And last month, a judge in Virginia banned Antle for 5 years from buying, owning, and selling any exotic animals within the state after the wild animal trainer was convicted in June of illegally purchasing endangered lion cubs in Virginia. And he also received a 2-year suspended prison sentence and must pay fines totaling $10,000 in that case. So, yeah.
It's just laughable.
Dude, the very beginning, and I've said this before, the very first scene in Tiger King is the guy who's doing the documentary, and they're talking to him. He's and he's going, he's like, the monkey people are kind of weird and this and that. And, and the people that collect these animals are a little offbeat. He goes, but the tigers, the cats, they're effing insane. And he just dives right in after that, and you just hold on the entire ride. It's crazy. All right, so Jennifer Hudson has a good thing going, telling Gayle King on CBS Mornings on Monday that she is very happy in her relationship with someone who shall remain nameless, is what she said. And this comes after she's rumored to have a romance with Common. This has been going on for a while. So
that's got to be it, because I have heard nothing as far as them breaking up.
But they still haven't confirmed it.
Well, I am.
So Gayle asked her if she is booed up.
She's all booed up.
And Hudson replied, booed up? I think it's more sophisticated than booed up.
Yeah.
Definitely not an entanglement. That's for sure, she said.
She gets some sticky icky?
Which is the Will and Jada.
Some of that real sticky icky icky. Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
It's the best. So who's there's Oprah and Stedman. Gayle King is Oprah's bestie.
Yep.
Who's Gayle King with?
That's a good question.
Flavor Flav?
Maybe it's Flavor Flav, for all we know.
Dave Matthews was hanging out with Flavor Flav over the weekend.
Really?
Yeah, we got to ask the guy from the Rock Hall about it. They were, Flavor Flav was at the Rock Hall in Faith.
Okay.
And then there's this picture of Dave Matthews.
Okay.
Like to be a fly on that wall. Gayle King, Steve, was married to a guy named William G. Bumpus.
Bumpus!
Bumpuses!
Bumpus!
And he
Oprah's hand in the door as he closes it.
he was a bloodhound breeder.
Bumpus!
All right. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I like when he's so happy he sticks his leg out the door and lets the dogs have a bite of him. All right, anyway. This is an interesting story. Insecure actress, and that's the show she's on.
Right,
she's just not
an insecure actress.
But her name is Yvonne Orgy. I'm sorry. Her September appearance on Chelsea Handler's podcast is going viral. The comedian asked Orgy if she is still a virgin during the interview, and the actress says yes. She said,
How old is she?
she's 39.
All right.
So Chelsea said, "Oh my God, I love this. This is the most original guest we've ever had on." She said, "What are you, 39?" And she replied, "I am." And then she joked, "People are like, oh, Yvonne, pray for him, whoever he is. There's a lot of pent up energy in here with me," she says. And I haven't seen any more on it, so I don't know what the details are on maybe why, but she's apparently, 39 years old and still a virgin. She's a beautiful woman.
She is. Nothing wrong with that
Without
at
question.
all. Yeah,
So, but maybe it's her choice. I do not know.
Well, maybe the Bumpus has a brother.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Bumpus can hook up. We'll see. All right, People reports this is a terrible story that former child actor Evan Ellingson has passed away. He was only 35 years old.
What was he in?
He played the son of David Caruso's character on CSI Miami, and he was also in movies such as My Sister's Keeper and Confession. His other TV roles included Bones and 24. Ellingson's father told TMZ he struggled with addiction, but his cause of death is not yet known. So it could have been an overdose, or who knows what at this point. So when we find out, we will absolutely let you know. A representative for Apple is talking about a computer-generated Peanuts film that is in the works at Apple TV+. They said, "We can't wait for everyone to experience this heartwarming new adventure with Snoopy, Charlie Brown, and the gang."
They've already done one.
In the big city. Charles M. Schultz's son and grandson, Charles Schultz and Brian Schultz, co-wrote the script. And they said, "It's so special to carry on my father's legacy with an original story from me, my son Brian, and his writing partner Neil." Craig had said this in a separate statement.
Did you see the feature film, the CGI Peanuts film?
I don't remember it.
Yeah. It was good. It is a little weird to see them rendered that way.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Maybe they'll change the style a tiny bit. I don't really know. Because they can, even though it's CGI, and I know we have in mind a specific, real slick look about it, they can, kind of change it up, maybe make it look a little more animated.
I agree.
Or you know what I mean, cell animation.
Yeah, no. When you watch I know, Casey, you watched, as did I, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
If you look at the artwork in those scenes, like where Snoopy is supposedly going across the French countryside, he's a World War I flying ace.
Right.
The colors and the it's really cool.
Yeah.
If they could replicate that, that'd be wild.
So let's see. When Echo hits Disney Plus on January 10th, it will premiere under the new Marvel Spotlight banner, complete with a new intro logo scored by Oscar-winning composer Michael Giacchino.
Hey!
Essentially, the new subcategory of Marvel is a branding for standalone fare versus series and movies that connect to the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe. This could be interesting. This could be the way that maybe they bring you back in.
So here's what's happened. And Nick, you sent me an article, and I'd seen it pop up. It hit all over the place. It's no longer, they can no longer say it's just rabid online trolls who are, commenting on what's gone wrong with Marvel. Variety, Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter, they're all now mainstream is reporting that they've made, big mistakes. Preston, everything we said from the beginning that we said might be a concern, the glut, the feeling that you have to watch every series to get the new movie coming out.
Yeah.
And that you had to have all that going for you and you had to do lots of homework.
Yeah.
Made it really daunting for a lot of I literally now am at the point where I don't care. I mean, I'm interested. And like last night, just for the hell of it, I put on season 2 of The Punisher from Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
What a vast difference. Oh, my God.
I haven't finished that season.
Oh,
Does it wrap up well?
Oh, it's
Okay.
terrific. So I think what they're trying to do is find a way that puts them halfway between that and what they're currently doing because they need to.
And also, this will allow them to maybe steer away from the Armageddon end of the universe scenarios.
Tired of that.
I have enjoyed those.
Yeah.
But you can't do that again and again and again and again.
Look at your favorite movie. Look at The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Look at those movies that
They're personal.
right.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you had mentioned Quantumania. I was sitting there during the last half hour. They're like, I am bored out of my goddamn mind.
And the shame of it is that happens. And so you guys used to refer to the release of anything Marvel as a concert. You looked forward to it so much. And so I got on board on all of the Marvel stuff because of you guys, right? And because of Iron Man and your love for it. And I remember not seeing the first 3 movies and be like, what's the big deal? And then being 100% invested in it and have been since. And I've shared it with you guys. I've shared it with my son. And all of that has been awesome. And I'm really enjoying this season of Loki. But there was an episode of Loki the other night, this last one, that actually made sense for the first time in 2 seasons of Loki.
Okay.
And so I am enjoying it. But I also get so damn confused, and it is homework. Like, it's a weird-ass type of homework to have to do.
I'm tired of just saying, it's pretty good. It's okay.
So this is a new title from Marvel, or a new subcategory. Marvel Studios head of streaming Brad Winderbaum said at the screening, Marvel Spotlight gives us a platform to bring more grounded, character-driven stories to the screen. And in the case of Echo, the show, focusing on street-level stakes over larger MCU continuity. Just like comic fans didn't need to read Avengers or Fantastic Four to enjoy a Ghost Rider Spotlight comic, he added, our audience doesn't need to have seen other Marvel series to understand what's happening in this. And this is a story about Maya, who is Echo, and she was from Hawkeye.
Right.
She was the Native American deaf assassin, Maya Lopez. And also Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be in this as well. He's playing Kingpin from Daredevil.
Did you watch the trailer?
Not yet, no.
Because there is a brutal beatdown. I mean, and you have not seen anything like this in any of the fare up till now.
Did you guys watch Moon Knight with Oscar Isaac?
I did.
I really thought...
I didn't make it through it.
Okay. That's an example of a show that really could have lived on its own. It didn't have really anything to do with the rest of the Marvel universe. They found ways to sort of have loose threads to it. But Oscar Isaac's acting in that was incredible. He played 3 different characters, and he played them really, really well. That type of show does not have to live within the MCU for it to be good.
That's the problem. Again, you have the glut. You have all these things that people feel are connected together. I mean, you remember how exciting it was, the post-credit sequence of a movie, and you're like, what are we in for next?
Yeah.
And by the way, a lot of those superheroes that Marvel rolled out in that initial series were not obviously Thor was, and a few of them were, but they went in and pulled out these characters and made it something. When you're just sort of like with Echo, they're going to release it all at once because they kind of want to just get it out there.
Good.
You know, and we'll see how they do. I want them, anyone who's a fan of this stuff wants them to find their footing again because it really does make a difference.
Yeah. And I want to kiss you. I want to kiss you.
I want to kiss you.
I do, yes.
You want to kiss me?
I want to kiss you.
All right, we're going to do the clips now. Rumble Through the Dark is a new thriller about a desperate, bare-knuckle cage fighter who battles to save his family's home. And here, director Parker Phillips talks about choosing Aaron Eckhart to play the lead.
He got it on every level, and he felt like he could bring a lot of things that were personal to him to the role. You know, you hope the actor finds something within themselves in the part they want to play. You know, it's obviously a departure from their world, of course, but you want to make it as personal as possible. And Aaron immediately recognized, you know, all that he could bring to it.
Doesn't he talk funny?
Rumble Through the Dark is in theaters now. Here's our next clip. In Pain Hustlers, a woman struggling to raise her daughter takes a job at a failing pharmaceutical startup, not realizing the dangerous racketeering scheme that she's suddenly entered. And here, director David Yates talks about bringing social issues into a drama.
It's a bit of a Trojan horse in the sense that what it says on the tin, it could be weighty and heavy, but we wanted to bring the audience in to connect with these human beings, to really go along with their ride and be kind of entertained and seduced to a certain extent before we get to some of the finer messaging of the movie.
Doesn't he talk funny?
Pain Hustlers is now streaming on Netflix for you to view. And that is the last story got for you in the air.
Done. Another one for the record books.
All right, so this morning we are going to have the CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had the induction ceremonies on Friday night. Greg Harris will be checking in, so we'll talk about the class of 2023 and all the goings on there. We have a Tattoos Day, your chance to win a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo. So text the word tattoo to 39333. Mr. Stickies.
Some of that real sticky, icky. Yeah.
Ooh, wee. They will be here this morning. We'll do some giveaways with them. And may I remind you, Camp Out for Hunger in 6 days.
Yeah.
6 days.
Ooh-wee.
And counting. Ooh-wee.
Some of that real sticky, icky.
Ooh-wee. And we got a lot going on. We have a drone show that's taking place on Monday night right before the Celebration Fireworks, Food Trucks, and Fireworks event. And, man, we're excited about it.
And remember, with everything, all the events that are happening if you come down to see the show in the morning, all we ask is that you make a donation, and that's what we're there for. And the rest is open to you.
Yep. Food Trucks and Fireworks sponsored by Five Below. Movie night on Tuesday night. Quizzo on Wednesday night. T-shirt night on Thursday night. You can go to WMMR.com/campout, but we are 6 days away from that. So make your plans now to join us every day if you can. We'll be back. Stay with us. I should play that piece of audio.
Okay. It's real short.
It's very, very quick. It's not an audio illusion or anything like that. But do you know? We don't know where this is. Graduation ceremony. It looks like a college graduation.
It was
ceremony.
college graduation,
and as you walk up, this is your moment. This is your family is there. It's your time to shine. You get your name said with the thousands of people in attendance. You walk across the stage. You grab your diploma that you've worked so hard for.
And paid a lot for.
Paid a lot for. This is the culmination.
And as you're walking, they announce your name.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
This is legit.
Julie
Too legit to quit.
Wait, one more time. One more time. Quiet, everyone, please. It's her moment.
Yeah.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh, my God.
Forgive me.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Julie Handjob. Forgive me, Julie Handy. Forgive me, Julie Blumpkin. Forgive me, Julie Dirty Sanchez. Oh, my God.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh.
Wow.
You know what, though? That's better than just having your name read that most people are missing anyway.
You know she was called Jerkoff throughout all her life.
It had to have been a nickname at some point, or friends.
Julie Jerkoff.
Yeah.
Or Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
If you think about
Julie oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
Or that professor won a nice bet.
Yeah.
Said she would do it. And
Julie Salad Tosser. Oh, it's not even close.
If you think about it, in high school, she probably had jerk off as a, I wouldn't even say a nickname. You know, they made fun of her.
Maybe even her friends would call her that because it's such an obvious. But
and then she gets to college where everybody matures a little bit, and she loses the jerk off for a couple of years.
It's
and
clear.
then boom.
Kirkhoff is I mean, you can come into that Kirkhoff,
dude. She's getting her master's degree. It's a master of science degree as she goes up and hears
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Well, and she doesn't. If this is the actual video that we're watching, she doesn't even flinch. The girl, Julie.
You know what? When they're doing it, you
couldn't even hear.
You're so excited, and you're just your focus is walk forward, shake hand, take diploma, walk off. You know, jerk off.
Jerk off.
Julie
Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Well,
you did very well, Miss Jerkoff.
And she sounds so sweet. The
I know.
woman reading the names.
Please come up to the microphone, Julie Jerkoff, and tell everyone how you achieved your success.
Forgive me.
It's the jerk-off way, I think, that we can all emulate.
Oh, my God.
But there's countless names like that are being butchered in similar ceremonies going on. In fact, this very weekend, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There'll be mangled names.
Yep, loads of them. You realize anytime we have a caller named Julie, we will have to play
Julie Jerkoff.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
It made my day yesterday when Casey sent that to me.
So, on that one level, is it sort of cool that you have, I mean, since she's probably dealt with it her whole life, at least she has a meme now that's attached to her.
Let's see. We have a caller on the line real quick, and I'm going to go to this caller. Hi, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Julie.
Julie Jerkoff.
Thank you, Julie.
Our first Julie Jerkoff.
You're our first to be given the Julie Jerkoff Award. In Ireland, a radio DJ died in the middle of his morning show, the station said. Yeah. Tim Goff was his name, 55 years old, was an hour into his broadcast when the music stopped halfway through a song. The music resumed a few minutes later, but the presenter did not return to his show. The broadcaster, Gen X Radio Suffolk, later confirmed that Tim sadly died. He was 55 years old. And the rest of the story was about people offering their condolences, so I don't know what happened.
It wasn't part of their cash cadaver promotion, was it?
I don't think it was. Don't think it was, Steve.
Now, one of us is going to die during the day. And we're going to die on air. When we do, call in.
Steve.
You've won cash cadaver.
Dude.
That's not funny. Although he probably would get a kick out of this.
No, that's just, it was his time, and it's horrific. You remember I passed out
Are you
on
saying
air.
he would have enjoyed that bit?
I don't know. Would any of us have enjoyed it?
cash cadaver?
I think so.
Probably.
I mean, if I ever die on air while I'm here with you guys and you want to do a cash contest surrounding that,
Yeah.
Okay.
Will you be our cash cadaver?
Totally.
All right.
We're allowed? Okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys sobbing. I'm gone.
Steve, I love the voice. So Dracula
Be
comes
the
on.
11th call, and you'll be cash cadaver.
My God.
He didn't sound strong when he cracked the mic today. I just knew it was going to happen.
Oh, that's the actuarial.
Yeah.
That's the actuality from the winner.
By my phone, and when he started coughing, I knew it was time.
This is horrible. This is terrible. That poor guy.
He just sounded weak.
That's what I knew to call.
I knew. I stayed right by the phone.
Dude. Oh, my God. To our own kind.
I know. We're horrible.
Our own kind.
Well, they shouldn't have set up the contest.
Yeah, you're right.
What is this stupid contest?
Be the 14th caller.
You're the 11th caller for cash cadaver.
Oh, man.
That poor rest in peace.
Totally,
Oh,
man.
my God.
It's just beyond. It's beyond the pale.
I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about that.
All right, we got a text that it should have been called the Morning Show, Mourn.
Ah, yeah.
No. We're very excited to welcome once again Mr. Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Chevy, thank you for coming on.
Chevy Chase. I've never heard a voice that low in my life.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the
Yes.
compliment.
Yes, who is this, please?
That's Preston, who has the low voice, and I'm the bald guy, if you can see us. So I'm
That's-
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you the guy with the voice?
No, Preston.
Oh,
I think
all
I'm
right.
I'm the guy with the voice.
That was very good. I loved it.
Thank you. Hey,
Hi,
Chevy,
guys. Nice to see you.
it's
Nice to
wonderful
see
to
you.
have you on. I needed to ask, you 39 years ago, you guys made the film National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and when you think back to that time when you were filming it, did you know that you had something extra special in that film and that people would still be loving it today? Because I've already watched it 3 times in the past couple of weeks.
No, I didn't like it. But no, of course. Let me just say this. When I make movies, I hope that people will like it, but you don't know, really. In fact, I've been doing recently some appearances, such as the one I'll be doing in Atlantic City at Tropicana, where I'm with an actual audience of, I don't know, a few thousand people or whatever. And until that time, I've never seen my audience. Basically, you make a movie and you never know anything. Once I snuck into a theater with Dustin Hoffman when we did a movie. I just snuck in and stayed in the back to see if they'd laugh.
Right.
But I mean, really, it's the same thing with Dustin or anybody. It's just we don't know.
Well, you know what? It's become a holiday classic, and it deserves that. But I also think, in a way, it might National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation might get short shrift on the emotional level because it resonates on so many of those levels as well. I remember years ago when I was a kid, my dad was sweating out a Christmas bonus check. And so that all of that, and I think it's captured beautifully in the movie in the attic scene where and I well up at that scene. That is a beautiful scene. How did that come together?
Oh, that's funny you should ask that. Well, it's not that funny, but we were in Breckenridge, Colorado, on a ski slope, shooting the very first scene in the movie where I'm going down the hill, and which you'll notice and see if you watch it. But it suddenly a blizzard hit us, and we were supposed to go back to L.A. and start shooting, and we ended up having to stay there. So the bed and breakfast that we were in had an attic. And we thought, well, let's try out their attic, which we did. That's where we shot it.
Wow.
In their attic. And I was happy to find, a couple of boards I could stand on that would hit me in the back of the head and in the front of the head and, whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's how we did it. And then at the end of that scene, might be interesting for those who watch it, I look out a window outside and see my family either arriving or driving away or something. That was shot in L.A. because if I looked out that window in Breckenridge, I would just see other houses and naked people. No, I lied.
No, but Steve's right. And I watched this movie the first time I was a teenager, and now I'm a father and I have 3 kids, and so the movie kind of on a few different times hits differently now as a father. And, somebody who prepares to make sure that, Christmas morning is as magical for my kids as it was for me. So, yeah, that one scene in particular is hits different.
Great.
But I always get surprised that when I can laugh at the same joke over and over again. And Chevy, the scene with you and the lady at the lingerie counter, it does not. Every single time I watch it, I'm like, I cannot believe that I'm like legit laughing out loud at the same joke over and over again. And when she says, "Can I take something out for you?" and you just start laughing, I laugh along with you. And
I know. I'm not going to say it on the air here, but
Thank you.
no, I love that part. And then you can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Is it lost on you at all that, and I don't, you have to be aware of this, that people quote you all the time? Like, I can't go play around the golf without using one of your lines from Caddyshack.
Fletch, everything, yeah.
Christmas time, there's always, Fletch. I have 2 Fletch sound clips that I play. You can hear these. Hey! And this one, I use those clips all the time, and it's just these little subtle things. Is it lost on you that you're part of people's everyday vernacular?
No. Well, it's lost on me, and that nobody tells me this except
us,
a sad guy like you.
Now I'm happy.
Honestly, I suppose I make those movies just for that reason. I'm different than other people who are quote comedians, and I say what maybe my dad would have thought was funny, that kind of thing. So I'm amazed at people's reactions, and I love it because he made me laugh a lot. So there you are.
No, that makes sense. There's a wonderful, and I just in research for talking to you, I checked out, did some reading and watched a video. There was a video of you with your daughter and your wife watching. This is a couple of years ago. You're watching the movie, and it was phenomenal because it's your daughter and you looking at each other, especially in the lingerie scene, and she's like, "Oh, Dad," you could just see it on her face, and you give her this loving look, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I also have 3 children, and they're my daughters. Of course, they're now in their 30s, but we're a very close family. This is where I live. This is what I do.
33 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Disneyland. Happiest place on earth.
Oh, it's magical.
Just so much wonder and amazing, childhood memories are born there if you go as a kid and everything. It's,
you know what I love about it?
What?
So clean.
So clean. So it's pristine, actually, except for on the lines that you stand in where people are dropping their pants and crapping. This is,
ladies and gentlemen, if you have to crap and you're waiting in line, we encourage you to drop trow and let her in the most magical place on earth.
Yes, apparently people are dropping trow and pooping where they stand while in line for rides. And this was initially thought of as maybe a rumor. But apparently it's a bit more real than we would like to believe.
Yeah, this blows my mind.
Yeah, twice in the last month, posters on the Disney World subreddit commented in fury and horror about the cursed things that they had seen while waiting in line. So here's an example. Somebody said, I am in the queue for Rise of the Resistance. Someone let their kid take a dump on the floor, and then they just walked out and left it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, I would want to die if I saw it. Well,
I will say they don't. They listen. Disney World has a lot of things figured out, but on those rides that have long lines, they don't have anywhere for you to go to the bathroom. And when
well,
you're
you
in
can
line,
just stay in line and crap.
Yeah.
I mean, Case, the whole idea I thought of those devices where you can walk away and be alerted to the ride being available, right? Why are those lines so long that people are crapping in line?
Yeah, you still have to get in a line.
I don't know why they don't like the some of the water parks. Well, actually, that was
Crap in the water.
No, that was the Universal water park.
Oh.
But what they do is, so you have a wristband.
Right.
You scan it when you want to get in line for the ride, and then it'll say, okay, come back in 20 minutes or come back in 30 minutes. And then when you go back, you're still getting in line, but you're waiting 5-10 minutes, and then you're getting on the ride. Like, why don't they, if it works for Universal, why don't they do that everywhere?
When you I don't know, Preston, you had a story. I don't know if you want to relay that story about when, like, sort of when you have to go, you have to go. A friend of yours.
You had to pull over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, so I can understand that sort of scenario. But this seems to be, at least reading from this Reddit thread and from other people, that this is a lot, as you said, it's a lot more common and more like a convenience rather than you hold my spot, I'm going to go look for a place to crap.
I will relay that story in just a second,
Okay.
but it was interesting.
Did any of you guys see the footage? And I think it was during the Eagles game on Sunday. There's like security cam footage of somewhere in Packer Park.
I
don't
saw
know-
it.
Okay.
Yeah, the three girls.
What happened?
They're at a corner where there's a small
half
wall, like a half wall, comes up maybe 3 feet tall, something like that. And on the other side by the street, you wouldn't be able to see what they're doing. But on this other side where somebody was looking out their window, the two girls go over and they squat. They drop their trowel, and another gal, I think, is puking.
I think so, but I didn't see anything come out of her
Neither
mouth.
did I.
Yeah.
But she bends over, and and two of them just drop trowel, and they squat down, and they're either taking a dump or peeing. They're probably peeing.
God.
Pretty sure they're peeing.
But at some point, you just, it's either that or you pee yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, we're watching right now.
Looking at the video of it, and two girls
Yeah.
doing their thing, and another one is either that's making her ill or she was just drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I
no,
do
she's
see her
puking.
throwing up,
She's
yeah.
puking.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, yes, according to this, the fecal sighting was supported. This is one at Disney. Was supported almost in real time by a commenter who said that they worked at the attraction. They wrote, for skeptics, this actually happened. Fun fact, this was one of 3 crap-related incidents at Rise today.
Today?
And then they said, less fun fact, I was here for all 3 of them. And on that thread, a commenter bemoaned the behavior of park guests at the wildly popular attraction Flight of Passage. They wrote, bodily fluids no longer bother me after working at Disney. Let's just say that the attraction I work at has what the cast ended up dubbing the poop hall because of the amount of time guests have gone in there and pooped. And we even put up a camera and it didn't stop it. She said, another commenter wrote, good Lord, the poop hallway. From a former flight CM, this absolutely gives me war flashbacks. I dealt with it way too many. I dealt with way too many bodily fluids at that attraction.
That's a mind blower. So are we getting the idea this is predominantly children, or are there adults doing this as well?
I don't know. They didn't indicate. I would guess it's probably going to be more kids than
Yeah.
adults, but
My son, I mean, he didn't poop all over the place, but man, did he puked all over the place.
I can get puke. I mean, honestly, I can take puking more because that's more a reflexive, You're going to throw up, you're going to throw up.
Well, I mean, so is pooping.
But
when you talk about
sometimes.
phase
I
sixes
know,
and
yes,
stuff.
I know. That I know. But the odds are more in favor of you vomiting uncontrollably and rather than just taking a dump in line.
Dennis took Jace to a Sixers game. It was a couple of years ago, and Jace gets car sick really easy. And it was one of those long trips. There was a lot of traffic. It took them forever to get down there, and Jace didn't get sick, I guess, until they got to their seat. So he all of a sudden just threw up at the seats, and he had to get him up. And I'm like, did you tell an usher? And he was like, no. I'm like, did you try to like wipe it up or anything? He was like, no. I'm like, you just left Jesus throw up there. Like, there's all these other people around. I'm like, you should have at least told someone so they could come and clean it up. And the rest of the people, he's like, I had to get him out of there. Like,
Yeah. And besides, he had to take a dump.
Hang on. Let me go to Melissa real quick. Melissa, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Melissa?
So I frequent Disney, and one of the times that I was there, I will never forget this moment. There was a family that was in front of us, and, like you bring your snacks and stuff like that while you wait in line, but this particular family brought like a jar of peanut butter, and they were all sticking their fingers in the peanut butter, licking it off of their fingers, and then, touching the rails, sticking their fingers back in the peanut butter jar, touching the rails. It was probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
So I think, though, that is still better than having someone take a full-blown dump in front of you.
Yes, that's gross to see,
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But
what you're describing is pretty damn disgusting as well, Melissa.
You see a lot in line at attractions, and
most people are going to see other people taking a dump.
Yeah, most people don't see that.
You have to pay extra.
But sometimes you kind of don't have much of a choice. So my buddy Steve was just a trooper. We were coming back from the shore.
You're giving his name and everything.
Yeah, he doesn't care. We're on the Schuylkill Expressway. We're heading back to Harleysville. We get to the Conshohocken Curve, and all of a sudden I see him look really uncomfortable. He's like, how far are we? And I'm like, we're about a half hour or so.
You know that look.
And Kathy, of course, traffic starts getting gummed up right there.
Of course.
We're headed westbound, and he looks like serious.
Oh, no.
And Rochelle goes, do you have to pee? And he goes, something like that. And so she's like, all right, we'll pull off at Conchi. And there's a McDonald's right there, right off the exit.
Bathroom ready to go.
We'll zip over there. So, and I never go to that McDonald's. So we get on to 23. We make that right, and then we pull up and we pull in the first parking lot that you can get into. That actually doesn't pull right up next to the restaurant. It's like a lower parking lot with some stairs you have to go up and everything. So I'm like, oh, that poor son of a bitch. He gets out. He's like squeezing his butt cheeks together.
Is he duck walking?
Starts walking up the steps, falls down the steps.
Are you serious?
And then he makes it all the way up to the McDonald's. There's a sign on the door, closed for maintenance. We're like, you're kidding me.
Unbelievable.
So he gets in, and there's a Wawa right around the corner.
Right there.
One of the worst parking lots in the world for a Wawa, but it's right there at this horrible intersection. I said, listen, it's a smaller, older Wawa. I don't know if they have bathrooms. Let's go in there. He gets out. He goes in. He's in for about 30 seconds. He comes back out. He's like, no bathroom. Kidding me.
Wow.
Fortunately, next to that is a mobile gas station. So he walks over there. He goes in. And he's in there for a moment, and by this time, he just walked over, so then we pull out of the parking lot. We pull in that next parking lot. He comes walking out, and he goes, their water is turned off, and they can't let anybody use the bathroom. I'm like, well, there's a Marriott across the street. Let's go over there.
There are many rooms with bathrooms.
So we go over to the Marriott. He eventually was able to use the bathroom there. But, dude, it took 4 places. And he is just like in pain.
Yeah. And the problem with the subsequent failures, Preston, is that with each one of those, you feel like you're about to get relief.
Yeah.
So you allow your body to start thinking, it's almost over.
You're preparing.
And I've made it to the McDonald's. Everything's going to be okay. And then you have to reclench, walk out and go to the Wawa where you're going to fail again, and then go to the mobile where you fail again. So that's 3 times where like you have to reclench your butthole.
Yeah.
Now, I've known a couple of different people who have gotten citations for peeing in public.
Yeah.
Not necessarily standing in the middle of a park in the middle of the day, but like this is at night or whatever.
Right.
I wonder if
Public urination.
But like cops, if you've ever let somebody go for defecating in public because you knew that
hey,
they didn't want to do this, you know, they were stuck in a situation where.
Here's a question about public urination. Let's say that you have a choice. You have a choice to either whip it out and do what you got to do,
right,
or you got to wet your pants. If you were to just full on stand there and just pee in your pants,
right,
and that liquid is going to run down and get on the sidewalk or wherever you're standing.
That's an interesting question.
Can you get in trouble for public urination if that is the case?
If
you know what I mean?
If you are peeing your pants in public as opposed to whipping it out and taking a leak in front of people.
Because at some point as a human being, you can't hold it anymore.
Right.
You know what
Say
I mean?
you have some sort of incontinence issues or
Yeah, but I think it's
or you're in pain.
Your responsibility as an adult to not let it get to the point where you have to pee your pants.
But sometimes
I would hope you could go to a judge and plead your case.
Judge, you have a good reason why I pissed yourself, son?
Yeah.
I've really had to go.
All right, well, let me go to some other calls here. We have Kelly on the line. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Kelly?
Hey, so I used to work at Disney World.
Okay.
I worked there for like 5 years, and definitely on Flight of Passage, I remember when that ride opened. I didn't work on that ride, but we got to, go on it obviously as many times as we want. And yeah, like the whole line would just smell like pee. Wow. But I had a friend that worked there, and adults were peeing too. Like it wasn't just kids. Like,
was it just poorly managed in that there was, and why that ride in particular, as some other rides that people.
Well, when that ride opened, I remember the first day it was like a 4-hour wait.
Yeah.
Ride.
I wonder if it happened on like the Avatar ride, because like when that first opened, that was like a minimum 3-hour wait. You know?
No, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what it is. Well, there you go. And the Navi piss out in the open, right?
Come on.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what, though?
Inside that ride, it's really dark, and there's a lot of, like, I don't know if you've ever been on it, but it's, like, kind of like a dark cave area. Like, there's, like...
Where you would piss. Yeah, so let me ask you, why do you think, Kelly, that they don't have... Knowing that, why didn't they make accommodations to allow people the option of going somewhere, keeping their place in line, and being able to go pee if they have to?
I don't know. Like, they should have bathrooms in there. They did start putting, like... things where you can like fill up your water bottles, but you're making people now.
Yeah.
You're going in the wrong direction.
You're filling their bladder.
Why don't they have them put their one hand in a bowl of warm water? Yeah.
That's a good point that Kelly makes, and also Casey said it earlier. Like Disney does a lot of things right. Like I remember, going there and just everything was so easy. The stroller in and out. Like the tram, whatever the tram is that they have. But how could they not have bathrooms when you're expecting people to wait for 4 hours?
Not only that, but like because I have been in line and I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom, and then you have to walk. Like, all right, you stay here, and now you got to walk opposite everybody else just to go to the bathroom.
I'm going to poop.
Yeah, but there's no easy way out of line either.
Right.
Actually, you know what? That's not always entirely true. Sometimes there's little exits because sometimes people get a little scared before.
Right. All right, Kelly. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll see it, but it can be.
Are smelling it? Oh, piss.
That should be part and parcel with the planning of the ride in advance of, look, people are going to be in this line for a long. Some of those passageways that you stand in they're lengthy. They are long. They know that you're going to be in there for a while. If the line gets you here, there should
be something
for that. Yeah.
So when your friend Steve finally got his he was good, right?
Oh, he was happy.
It was okay.
He came skipping out of the Marriott.
Because if you have like a phase 6, as we refer to it, where no force in the universe can stop you, you're going to go.
Yeah. He must have been at a 5.
Yeah.
A 5 can be pretty damn bad.
Because one and done sometimes doesn't cut it.
Continuing in the story, 2 former Disneyland custodial team workers also have written about the topic in their book called Cleaning the Kingdom, Insider Tales of Keeping Walt's Dreams Spotless. And in the chapter titled Disgusting Things, former cast members Ken Pellman and Lynn Barron revealed that there was even a name for such happenings. They called it Human Code H.
Human Code H.
A Code H, according to the authors, originally referred to horse crap. So a Code H meant a custodial worker needed to clean up after one of the horses pulling a Main Street vehicle did its business. The term was later modified to Human Code H to reflect a bowel movement of the human variety. Their gnarliest story occurred at Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland. They said, and I read from the book, there's a pair of individual use restrooms just backstage from the North Unload, and it was mainly for cast members, but guests could and did use it. A woman who did not know this burst into the control room for the attraction and deposited her gift right there. It must have been challenging for the ride operator to stay at their post in there before it was all cleaned up. So she crapped in the control room.
Poop. I hate poop.
Why did it have to be poop? I'm going to go to Jenna. Hi, Jenna. You are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I am doing well. So I work at the Loom down in Philadelphia. I'm a glass artist. And every single day that I go to work, we have the Phantom Pooper who goes around and poops all around the building.
Are you kidding?
Outside the building?
Outside the building, right on the sidewalk, and like it's a one-way street. So like everybody parks on the sidewalk, and I can't tell you the number of times that people have driven through it and dragged this poop up and down the sidewalk.
That's no way to live.
Yeah.
Gee, Jen, are there security cameras that catch this person?
Oh, there's security cameras. They don't do anything to like clean it up either. They just leave it.
Is it the unhoused that's doing that, or is it something else? Somebody else?
I think it's there's a very large homeless population right there because it's right near like Kensington and Allegheny.
Yeah. Is there any chance it's a high-powered attorney?
So I think they have nowhere else to go, so they just poop right on the sidewalk, and it's funny because it's like in the corner, so they try to hide it, but it's like it doesn't happen that way.
At least they're trying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, wipe with a brick.
Yeah, I
All right,
remember
thanks,
seeing
Jenna.
a guy who was a worker, like a construction guy or whatever. Got out of his work truck, and I just see him pull up to this. It was like this. It was a driveway, but he pulled up next to this giant stone sign. And then I see him get out of the car, and I'm at the stoplight, and I see him get out of the car and walk behind the sign. I'm like, that's weird, So then my light turns green, I turn left, and then I'm driving, and I just kind of glance as I'm driving past the sign to see what he's doing, and he is full on squatting, pooping, and I felt bad for the guy because I knew
What are you doing?
I knew that he had no choice. Do you know what I mean? Like,
How did you know that?
For where we were, where it was, and. We've talked about Phase 6. This dude was in a Phase 6, situation where, there was nowhere public for him to go.
I wish there was something, like some sort of thing. Like, remember in Logan's Run when you hit a certain age?
I didn't see him.
The little gem in your hand would turn a color so that you had a public, you could prove I'm Phase 6. Look at the gem in my, I've got a crap now.
Yeah.
And so that people will leave you alone.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if a cop pulled up on him, right?
It's okay. It's Phase 6.
Well, I mean, he took himself out of the public eye.
Yeah.
He went behind a giant, sign or whatever.
Here's the question. When you do that, as to Kathy's point, the child throws up.
Yeah.
Do you actually, you had a situation where you went back.
I had this, and that's the thing. I had the situation where I had to, unfortunately go somewhere where I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Right? And then, I hightailed it out of there, but I came back to clean it up.
Right. I think the onus is on the crapper to do that at some point.
Would it make sense, like they have around parks, to have free bags?
I think so.
You know what I mean?
think so. Is there some version of a thing that you could, that needs to be invented actually,
a little pouch
where you could sort of with two straps, almost like you would put behind a horse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
I mean, something that why aren't there things like that?
Man. We were taking a walking tour in Copenhagen, and we're walking through the town, and the guy's showing us all the sights, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, someone left a poo there."
Oh, God.
And it was just a pile, dude.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it wasn't horse size, but it was bigger than a dog. You could clearly tell that was a...
they have rich food.
Let's see. We will go back to Disney. Let's go with Chuck here. Hey, Chuck, good morning.
Good morning. I have to say first, from that last caller, I am surprised that there was poop on the ground there, Kensington and Allegheny.
It happens.
Yeah, K&A is weird.
Yeah. But anyway, no, we were on the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway, which used to be the great movie ride. So you're walking through the Chinese theater, we're on the red carpet. my 4-year-old, I just smell something awful, and I look down, and she's got this sad look on her face.
Oh.
It is running down her leg. There's a pile on the floor, and they had to. It's like where they you're like cattle. They
yeah.
You know, it's single file into this theater area, and that's right where she went. And they had to like shut it down. It was like Monsters Inc. They sent out the hazmat crew 2319, and there's like guys in white suits.
Really?
All right,
Oh my
so
God,
so
yeah.
you alerted the workers what happened.
I had to.
Very
because
good.
everybody would-
Yeah.
It was in the walkway. Like, it would have been everywhere if we didn't, like...
But Chuck, there are people that are not
Yeah.
telling. They're just letting it happen and letting it stay there. So you did the right thing.
We like stood around it so people didn't like take it with them. And
Good call.
Like they sent out this hazmat crew. It was actually, they're pretty good. They're fast and they got it all cleaned up.
I think you'd have to, but Chuck, in your case, I probably would have pointed to the family behind them and said, "This woman's daughter, just crapped herself."
Yeah, we'll stay here and make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah,
but
we want to make
just wanna
sure,
make
but
sure that you know who did this.
ma'am, how dare you?
Oh, Chuck,
So
that
my
sucks.
my
Thank
buddy,
you, Chuck.
he's a police officer in Pennsylvania,
Right.
and he and
Which
his,
is one of the states.
he and his fellow officers, they had some training exercise that they had to do in New Jersey. And so they're on their way back into Pennsylvania in the van, in like a police van, and they get stuck in all this traffic on the Walt Whitman Bridge. And so, damn you, Walt Whitman! And there was no choice but to take a dump in a cooler in the back of the van while everybody else was also in the van.
Wow. Well, dude, that is going to generate a stink.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how base we... but you're forced to sometimes. I mean, there's sometimes you have to revert to a complete animalistic scenario,
Yep.
like crapping in a cooler in the back of a police van.
Nick, imagine being in that van with whoever we experienced in the bathroom yesterday.
Oh my God!
Oh, man.
What happened?
No, Casey, be grateful. Preston and I.
Did you check the shoes?
Here's the thing.
My eyes were hurting afterwards.
Preston and I went to go pee-pees after our show, before the meeting, Steve. And the meeting was across the hall in a different place than it normally is. So Preston and I go in there, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and then we left without saying a word.
You didn't go to the bathroom?
Well, no. We peed and then left. But
Save yourself.
As soon as we got outside of the bathroom door, Preston and I couldn't stop laughing, but also nearly vomiting because the smell was so intense and repulsive. And Casey, I wanted to get out of there before seeing who came out of the stall, because I never wanted to encounter that person again. I wanted to be like,
I want to live.
I don't want to know who this guy is.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever blame him for that stink that he created.
It was probably Antes, but
It was probably I didn't hear white flush.
Yeah.
Steve Vasilati walked out of there the other day, and he just had like a disgusted look on his face, and he's like, "It's so bad in there. It's just so bad."
I will tell you this, and this is this sort of a warning to everyone. If you think you're used to your own stink, so be aware that even if you think nothing's happening, courtesy flushes.
Oh, please do.
Courtesy flushes.
I mean,
please.
I enjoy my own scents, to be honest.
But that's at home.
Happiness is the smell of your own gas.
In the privacy of your own water closet.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, I was at the Eagles game on Sunday night, and I guess these three guys had to go so bad because they were all in a stall together during the game, and three guys came out of the stall. I'm like, wow, you guys really had to go do some cocaine.
I think that's exactly what happened. Hey, how are the bathrooms at the link?
Not
For
bad.
cocaine? They're perfect.
Yeah, like if you're looking to do some blow.
Yeah. Well, they were in the handicap stall, so it was actually extra roomy in there. But they're fine. They're fine.
No,
I mean,
it's not handicapped. It's cocaine capable.
cocaine capable. But I also try and go at off times, right? I don't go in between.
Yeah.
All right.
When the glory hole's
like
open.
Quarters and stuff like that.
Halftime.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I want to go back to some calls here. I have John, who's got a story to share. Hey, John, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, yeah, well, I'm in the plumbing field and doing a lot of like service work, so you can imagine we don't always have a place to go. So our magic trick is the old bucket in the back of the truck with a trash bag.
Wow. So see the trash. Even I'll tell you what, John. Even that option at a place where there's something similar, where there are these long lines, I mean, To me, anything would be better than just crapping on the floor. When you do that, obviously, you bag it up and then you take it home for the kids to play with. Right? No.
Yeah, exactly.
John, was it difficult the first couple of times you had to do that, and now it's no problem?
Oh, it's still difficult today.
No kidding.
I think there's just something in the core of who you are as a human being that just realizes it's wrong, but you have to do it.
You have to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
imagine doing it on top of tools and you got everything in the back of your truck. You're a lot of obstacles.
John,
The ironic part is you're a plumber.
It's like a toilet installation guy.
Yes.
Hey, John, what are your thoughts on flushable wipes?
I have a pack in my truck.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I thought plumbers hated them.
No, because he's crapping into a bag. It doesn't matter.
True.
Yeah.
You don't have
Yeah,
to flush.
I wouldn't recommend putting them in your toilet though. No.
Yeah, if you're going to use those, crap into a garbage bag.
Good call.
I actually
I
stopped
keep
putting
using them for my sake.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
It's fine in
work
the
for
cooler.
him.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate it, man. All right, Lou has been on hold for like 20 minutes. I'm going to go to Lou. Hey, Lou, good morning.
I don't even know who the hell you are.
I don't even know who the hell you are.
Good morning, Lou. What's up, buddy?
Hey, listen, my story's kind of not like waiting in line type deal, but kind of being like absolutely S-faced and waiting around to have no choice but to do it.
All right.
It was a friend of a friend, and I'd seen the ring camera footage, and basically it was a younger girl, was obviously completely S-faced. She must have mistaken this as like her condo or Airbnb down in Wildwood, but it turned out to be my friend's friend. So we're looking, and basically he's got a huge back deck, and, it's real nice. There's swing sets, furniture, the whole nine. She just strolls up. She's looking around. She's just obviously, like, stumbling everywhere, starts sitting on the couch, starts swinging on the swing, and as she's doing that, she leans over and just starts throwing up everywhere.
Oh, no.
While she's swinging?
Yeah, so I guess, she was obviously woozy, so she was, right on the verge, I guess.
Yeah, she got motion sickness from the swing. Yeah.
I think the swing just did her in, so she starts throwing up. She gets out of the swing, slips into some of it. Then she's trying to go toward the back door. Now, she tries to open the door a couple times. She obviously can't get in. She don't know what's going on, so then she sits down on these steps that are, like, below the door. And then, like, a minute or two passes by, and then you just see her drop trowel, and she goes, and it's right all over the steps.
Are you kidding? So she went for the twofer.
No, this is a true story. It's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen on a ring camera ever.
Yeah.
But,
so she threw up and she peed, or did she poop?
Oh, she pooped and peed and threw up. She did the whole shebang.
She did the turkey. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, anyways, to make a longer story short, she walks away from the deck. Obviously, she's not cleaned off or anything. Finds my friend's buddy's car that's unlocked in his driveway, and ends up falling asleep in the backseat.
Holy God Almighty!
Injury. Now he's got to get the inside of his car clean,
of course,
as well as hose off and clean out the entire deck of human feces and vomit. And it wasn't even anyone he knew. It was some random person.
Whoa, those wildwood days. Oh, my God.
Jesus.
That is just...
That's everything. Hey, Lou, did she return so she could also have her period on the deck?
I know, seriously. God, that was the only thing that was missing.
Yeah. I mean, might as well do it all.
Was she there in the morning? Did he encounter her?
From what I remember, I believe the cops were called, unfortunately.
I know you're Madeline Albright.
The whole nine. I don't think she got in trouble, probably maybe a citation or something like that. I'm actually on my way into work right now, so I'll ask my buddy now, and maybe I'll email one.
All right, I'd like to know. All right, thank you for hanging on, Lou.
Does that qualify as just a...
Love you, buddy.
Thanks, man. Does that qualify... Is that a misdemeanor? It's a misdemeanor, right? Obviously. But I mean, that's a lot of damage.
What, pooping on somebody's...
Pooping,
yeah,
peeing,
there's some kind
throwing
of law
up,
broken
and
there.
then going into someone's car?
Yeah, definitely that's a breaking into the car, so although it was open.
Unlocked.
I don't know. All right, Kate is on the line. She's been on hold for a long time. We got to take a break here in just a second. But hi, Kate. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Kate?
Okay, so I was 5 or 6 years old. I am 40 now, and my aunt and uncle had taken us to Typhoon Lagoon. And we're in the wave pool, and I tell my uncle, because my aunt had to go back to the room, that I had to use the bathroom. He had 3 boys, so he was not comfortable taking me to the bathroom, but I told him many, many times that I had to go. I couldn't hold it, and lo and behold, I pooped in the wave pool at Typhoon Lagoon in Disney.
You pooped in the wave pool at Disney.
I did.
Oh, no.
It was horrible. And I remember my aunt coming back, and he was panicked. He didn't know what to do, and I'm sitting there with a pile of poo in my bathing suit. It was horrible.
All right. So did they alert the lifeguards? Did they shut the pool down and everything?
I honestly, I don't even remember.
You blocked it out.
I think I did.
So let me tell you something, Kate. The wave pool. So, okay, we're all familiar with the Caddyshack scene and all that stuff. But when you have a wave pool, that's a whole other ball game.
That's shaken and stirred.
Shake and bake.
Wow. All right, Kate. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate it. All right, we need to go to one more call. I was wrong because our buddy Robert, who is an artist at Disney, is calling in. Robert, morning, bud.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning to see you. How things?
So things are great. I'm just chilling at good old Disney World. But wanted to say that actually, the pooping in Avatar got really bad. They actually put in a bathroom.
Oh, there you go. So they finally wised up and did that.
Yeah.
How long ago did they do that?
Shortly after the attraction opened. So it was pretty quick. But the problem also is it's not just people pooping. It's also parents that let their kids, go in cups and leave it. Or dirty diapers that are just left in the queue.
See that to me the thing I would always associate with Disney or and I've never been to Disney World but theme parks like that when they're clean and spotless, that's the endorsement. That's what you want. You want that cleanly experience. I'm surprised that are they looking for ways to mitigate that or are there
Well, they can only do what they can do, but the good thing is the peace of mind that you guys should have is every night the place is high pressure washed and cleaned.
All right.
thoroughly.
All right. Wow, man.
When you walk in and you notice everything's always wet in the theme park right when you get there early in the morning.
Yeah, they've cleaned it.
It's just deep cleaned.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen personally?
A parent changing their child's diaper on the condiment station.
On the condiment station.
I really wish Steve hadn't asked you that.
That was 15
Try
years
some of
ago.
that chocolate spread over there.
Mustard.
Oh my
Brown
God.
mustard.
That's
Holy
insane.
F.
All right. Robert, thank you, and no thank you. We appreciate it.
Never call in again.
We'll talk to you, man. Take care. Bye-bye. Wow. Dude, it's just, the leaving behind the cups of pee and the diapers and stuff like that. It's just some people have this mentality. It's like throwing a cigarette butt out of a car.
Yeah.
It's just like that. It's gone now.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with that anymore. And it's the same type of mentality, only more disgusting and worse.
We know that
I'm
it's
just like, it's okay. That's not my problem anymore.
It's a horrific situation, but if you can at least apprise someone of it or look for some way to dispose of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a slight inconvenience, but sorry, it's out of concern and consideration for everyone else.
Hey, free apple juice.
I love the Avatar ride.
Look at this. They put out free apple juice and brownies.
Wow. All right. Thank you for your calls. We appreciate it, but be aware if you're going to stand in line at Disney for a while. I would like to completely switch gears at this very moment because we are taking a break, and I want to give away a $50 gift card from Mr. Sticky.
Real sticky, icky, icky. Oh, wait.
Yeah, in Pottstown. They're on Heritage Drive, and you go to MrStickyBuns.com, and I'll take caller number 15 at 215-263-WMMR. Mr. Sticky's award-winning sticky and cinnamon buns in Pottstown offer just off of Heritage Drive. You can find them at MrStickyBuns.com. Mr. Sticky's warning, extremely addictive, they say.
Oh, I know. Are they here yet?
Yes. Yeah, and they have the Stick Witch breakfast sandwiches, too. So I know. Kiss that diet goodbye, brother. We're going to take a break. Be right back with the Beat Pile. Stay with us.
3 daughters, and God, do I love them all. They're just the best, and I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for them. Not to say that I was dying or something, but just, I just, that's it. I mean, I was looking at my wife this morning. I was in bed on top of her. No, I was in bed no, I just look over, I peek over to her side of the bed, and she's out like or something, and I just love her.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand that. What I also love, Chevy, so you love the actual describing the movie, and people are going to go see you. You're going to get your money's worth because you have tons of stories. And I did not know that the house featured in the Christmas Vacation was actually the same house used in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Well, that's right. Once we went to L.A. after getting out of that place, we had a place called the Warner Ranch. It was right across from Warner Brothers Studios. And there must have been 12 or so houses that they would use over the years. And we picked one that had a great lawn. And on the lawn, by the way, there was a toilet, just a toilet. You mentioned Lethal Weapon. That I believe there was a toilet scene at the very end of Danny
Glover.
Danny Thomas. What?
Danny Thomas, Danny Glover. Danny Glover's on the toilet. Yeah.
Like the toilet explodes or something.
Yeah.
So I said, that's got to be the house for us. And the property people had clearly forgotten to remove the toilet or just said that heck with it, and they got another house. And so I had our property people please remove the toilet from the lawn. And then there's this scene, it's like one of the first scenes in the movie in which I fall off the roof, setting the lights up.
Right.
And I land behind this bush, and I landed on the toilet. Nobody saw that, but that's where the property people this time put it.
Oh, my God.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, we are going to have there's one of the stars of Christmas Vacation actually still lives in this area, and we're going to have her in studio on Monday. The young girl who played Ruby Sue, Ellen Latson's going to be here on Monday.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So
what a little kitty.
Yeah. Well, she's a grown up now. Do you have any memories of shooting any scenes with her? Because you guys did have that really touching scene.
Beautiful.
When you were
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus. Yeah.
Yeah. We went out together after that.
That's cool.
I'm kidding.
That would have been illegal at the time.
I know, it would have been. I'll say. No, she was a lovely girl. I can't remember exactly what Ruby Sue ended up doing because I sort of lost track of her. But her name is Ellen.
Yeah.
And I hope for the best for her. She was terrific fun. Yeah.
Talking
Lovely
about
girl.
Speaking of the cast, when the entire family is at the Griswolds, look at the lineup of people that were in that living room: John Randolph, Diane Ladd, E.G. Marshall, Doris Roberts, Randy Quaid, of course, William Hickley, the great Mae Questel. What a group of actors! That just must have been.
Don't forget Beverly D'Angelo.
Beverly D'Angelo, of course.
Yeah. In trouble.
And
no, you're right. Mae Questel and John Randolph was my dad. Mae Questel. Yeah, a great group of really good actors. William Hickley was a teacher, and some of the greatest actors went to his school.
I think at that point he just won the Oscar for it. Was it Prizzi's Honor?
No, I didn't win it for that one, but I won it for the.
No, he did.
Oh, that's correct. I'm so sorry. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Well, having that cast at that level of capability, for in supporting roles, just made everything that much better. Now, the legend has it that you also incurred an injury during the tirade sequence with the front lawn decorations that were not working with you. Is that true?
Well, that's right. It was a rant when I was ranting about how I couldn't get the, things together and all that. And I just, from out of nowhere, decided to kick these reindeer that were on the lawn, punch them.
Right.
Because I was angry at everything. And that wasn't supposed to be in the movie. I just did it, and the camera followed me. And I came back with a broken finger after doing it. I thought it was like made of mud or something. I didn't know what it was made of, but it certainly didn't absorb anything except my bones.
Speaking of rants, when you finally, when the dam breaks and you realize, Clark is not going to get the bonus, and you go on that, bug-eyed, fish-eyed, blah, blah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Was that, had you written all that out yourself and rehearsed all of that, or was some of that just coming off the cuff while you were going through that?
No, we wrote it. Actually, I wrote it, come to think of it. And each one of those adults watching me do it, had a little card on the front of their.
That is great.
You can't see. You can look for it, but you can't see it, and so that's why I put all those words, because I couldn't remember them all. It was just too many.
And that's
Isn't that a great thing to know.
That's what I was wondering, because it is a lengthy string of like, pseudo profanities.
That's
that were just
wild.
all over the place. They were bizarre.
That's Brando had. That was the thing Brando did during The Godfather. He had the actors he was facing. They had cue cards on them. Yeah, because that's a string of things to remember. But it's one of the seminal scenes. And correct me if I'm wrong, Beverly D'Angelo has an improv physically when the SWAT agents come through the windows, correct?
Oh, did you say erect?
Yeah, it pertains to that.
Oh, you said correct, yeah. No, you're right. That just sort of happened. I did not feel a thing, just for those who might watch the movie. But which made me cry inside. I did not feel a thing, but that's just Bev. She just happened to do that, and so you'll see it in the movie.
That's beautiful.
You guys have such a chemistry, and we talked to her just recently, and that's. And there's obviously a real friendship there. And in that moment, when you first met her and you were doing the first movie, did you try with anyone else? Was it just were you kind of just paired with Beverly D'Angelo right from the get-go and realized you had that chemistry?
Not paired. I paired.
You paired.
I interviewed quite a few girls for that role.
I see.
And Bev just seemed right away. So
yeah.
I chose that girl.
And I saw that you and her and Christy Brinkley were was it Comic-Con recently, or it was a convention?
A few days ago, yeah.
Does that does that happen from time to time? Some of the national the vacation family kind of run into each other here and there.
Not really. That just happened to be. I know. Why did that happen to be? It did anyway.
Yeah.
Christy and Bev are quite a couple. I won't even get into it. It's too funny.
That's awesome.
I said Randy Quaid is of course amazing in it, and Randy's taken some turns since the movie, but that he comedically for a guy who's also a tremendous actor, a dramatic actor, he just ate that role up. Was some of your dialogue improv with him as well?
I backed off a little bit and turned your volume off. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we lost you for just a second.
You were saying Randy.
Randy Quaid.
I was about to say that Randy. If it weren't for Randy, I wouldn't make those movies. As you said, he's a brilliant actor. Period. And he just came on. You serious, Clark? That guy.
Yeah.
And I do a good impression of Randy. And I just think he's such a solid guy. I spoke to him on the phone relatively recently, and he was home with his wife and child, who unfortunately is a puppy, a dog. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, but no, Randy and his, he's just a regular guy. I mean, I can't tell you, when we're walking through the grocery store and he keeps piling the dog food on the thing. I'm not going to give it all away, but that's the guy I wanted.
Yeah,
and he did that, by the way, out of nowhere. He just started piling those things on.
It's hilarious.
I picked up some light bulbs and put that there to see what would happen.
Chevy, do you have a favorite of any of the vacation movies? I mean, each one of them means something different to each one of us. Is there one that stands out to you?
Well, I like the Godfather version.
The Godfather's an American masterpiece.
I know. So is one of mine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep fighting for it. No, I don't think. I think the first Vacation and Christmas Vacation are probably my favorites. But then then I think about European Vacation. That was very funny.
Yeah.
I had Eric Idle in that, and then Vegas Vacation wasn't my favorite. It was rough to do, but otherwise, I mean, I enjoyed it very much, obviously. But I think the first one and the last one.
Well, there are tons of stories associated with the movies, and I'll just bring up one. You got a lot of tidbits that you've given us today. But as the legend goes, Chris Columbus was offered the directing role for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation first, and then passed on it, and he went on to direct Home Alone from that. Is that correct?
No, actually, he discovered the country in 1492.
It was that one. Wow.
Anyway, I have no idea if that's really true. I don't know Chris Columbus.
Okay.
I always wanted Harold Ramis, and is that who I got?
No, you got
Michael
Jeremiah
Richard?
Chekchik.
Oh, I got Jeremiah. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So there you have it. My knowledge of that is really shaky.
What you've given us is worth it, though. The conversation has been great, and this is some of what you'll get if you attend the screening and the conversation afterwards.
Yeah, this is going to be
thank you.
Saturday night at Tropicana Casino and Resort NAC. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. I'm actually going to give away some here in just a little bit.
8 o'clock. It'll be great fun. I hope the place fills up and is packed with young girls.
As a fan,
wonderful people.
As a fan, we are thrilled you're doing this with your movie catalog because we are massive fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. I thank you for that.
Thanks
you
so much,
interview.
Chevy. Have a great holiday. Enjoy the weekend and take care of yourself, okay?
Well, you too, guys.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Chevy Chase, guys. I mean, come on, man. The great Joe Satriani, guitarist.
The only rock in St. Louis, KGN 89.1. Up on deck right now, we've got some hot new stuff from a guy named Joe Satriani. This cat really knows how to play guitar. Watch out for him. He's getting some really fantastic...
Dude, stop it.
If I have to listen to, he's calling my phone.
Okay, all right.
Then you got to listen to that.
commercial success from his all-instrumental album, which you don't...
This is me in broadcasting school.
Right.
Mind you.
...seen much of, and I see some very big things from him in the future. So what do you say we roll it? This is The Crush of Love on KGN.
At least, listen, I still have never showed you guys mine. At least you're like, you're doing it. Like, I froze. I didn't, like, the words weren't even coming out of my mouth.
There's no words on it?
Oh, yeah. It was, Steve, there were very little words on it.
I didn't know that.
Do you have it, or is it just mythical
No,
now?
I have it. I think I lied to you guys and said I didn't.
I think you did.
I
In fact,
knew it.
We know you did. Preston, but that's a very serviceable... It's not that bad.
It was terrible.
No, that's what I mean. Like, listen, it's terrible now, but like you were speaking well, and you.
I can't read it. There's no words on it.
I was talking like this, you know.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like you're in broadcast school.
Yeah, there you go.
know?
Yep.
Yeah, here's another one if you want to hear Foreigner.
This is KGN 89.1, the only rock of St. Louis. Good afternoon. I am feeling good, and I hope you are too. And if not, I've got just the thing for you. Here's a little bit of Foreigner, Double Vision on KGN.
I like that. I hope you're feeling good. If not, there's not a goddamn thing I can do about it.
That's me, by the way, just sitting in a booth with a tape recorder.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually on the radio.
It's
I was
the weirdest-
pretending. I
yeah.
didn't make up a radio station. KGN did not exist. I made that up. No. I don't know why I thought of those letters KGN. K-Gun.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Kevin Gunn.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe Satriani, that cat turned 66 years old today. We are so happy he is back in town. It's been a while since he's been here in this studio, and we know him as Gay Robot. We love him for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Swartz.
Yeah, everybody
is with us. Good morning, sir.
I'm glad you got my name right and didn't call me Blink 182. you nailed it.
It's that kind of day, Nick.
It is.
Flooding in the streets and in Preston's home.
Dear Lord.
When did your friendship with Adam Sandler begin?
We met on J-Date.
It was J-Date.
Yeah.
So a mistake ended in a lifelong
it was just
friendship.
a lovely turn of events.
That's perfect.
This goes with answering this question. A lot of people don't even know I do stand-up. So this generation now, it's funny because
that's why I wanted
they'll
to
come to my show and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're really good at stand-up."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing it like 22 years, which is insane." And a lot of people just know me from movies, so it's kind of a bonus when they're like, "Oh my gosh."
Brought to you this morning by Lehigh Valley Restaurant Group, Red Robin. They've got holiday gifts all wrapped, and you can give the gift of yum with a $25 Red Robin holiday gift card, and you get a $5 bonus buck reward for you now through December 31st. Red Robin, yum. All right, so Free Willy has targeted humans on the high seas yet again, this time a pod of killer whales. Nearly lived up to their name after brutally sinking a Polish yacht off the coast of Morocco.
This is a behavior that is not the norm for killer whales.
The incident occurred after a group of orcas attacked the yacht named the Graze Mama 2.
Glace Marron.
While
Glace
it
Marron.
passed through the Strait of Gibraltar. The marine...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The marine mammals, which can grow over 30 feet long and weigh over 30,000 pounds, have reportedly hit the steering fin for 45 minutes, it says, causing major damage and leakage.
This isn't the first time, though. They're doing this now.
You are correct. Despite attempts to save the vessel, it sunk near the entrance to the port of Tanger Med. Thankfully, the crew wasn't harmed in the attack and is currently enjoying a sojourn in Spain. The incident, as Kathy said, marks the latest in an ongoing trend of the Shamu scuttling ships off the coast of Morocco and Spain. It's unclear why the species, which feeds on fish, seals, and other whales, has been targeting humans. However, scientists speculate that these could be copycat revenge attacks sparked by an incident where an orca matriarch was rammed by a boat. Most frightening is the behavior seems to be passed on generationally, perhaps indicating that, like humans, the species possesses a propensity for vengeance, although some scientists postulate that the orca's behavior is more playful, akin to when killer whales in the Pacific Northwest are observed wearing salmon on their heads like a fedora.
Yeah.
So they might just be playing around.
They do a lot with whoopee cushions as well.
Listen to this story out of England. 2 former bosses of a trampoline park where 11 people broke their backs, including 3 in a single day.
Holy hell.
Are facing jail time. The 3 people fractured
Probably because it's not safe, right?
Fractured their spines while jumping off a 13-foot-high tower into a foam-filled pit at Flip Out Chester, and it all happened on the same day in 2017. Injuries in the park happened so frequently that NHS chiefs demanded a meeting with park bosses to discuss safety fears. The local hospital warned that specialist surgeons were facing unnecessary pressure due to people being hurt on a daily basis from there.
Wow.
David Shuttleworth and Matthew Melling admitted an offense of failing to prevent exposure to risk under the Health and Safety Act. The charges are said to relate to an investigation into 270 incidents over a 7-week period in December 2016 to February 2017.
Wouldn't you rethink your business model after the first week?
The investigation found the business had a total disregard for safety regulations. Visitors left traumatized after suffering life-changing injuries at the park. Liza Jones was one of the 3 people who broke their back on the same day while plunging from the 13-foot tower jump, described at the time by Shuttleworth as the largest of its kind in the world. Recalling her ordeal, she said it was really scary. It was the most pain I've ever suffered in my life. Doctor said that I had an unstable fracture and one of my vertebrae had burst, which meant I had fragments of bone sticking out that could have paralyzed me. Liza has welcomed the prosecution, adding, I'm glad they are going to face court action because I could have been left paralyzed. Another victim of the tower jump, Lucy Jones, told how she screamed in agony after leaping off the tower. Lucy recalled how a post-Christmas girls' night out turned into a nightmare. She said, I landed in a seating position as we had been told to do, but when I landed, I felt the worst pain I've ever been through in my whole life. For a while, I couldn't breathe or anything. She feared she would never walk again and needed a 5-hour operation to insert metal rods into her back after the incident. And a third victim, Sari Jones, described hearing a crunch when her vertebrae exploded on impact as she jumped off the tower, leaving her in agony.
So they're jumping onto trampolines from 13 feet up, right?
No, this is a foam pit.
A foam pit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Michelle Conway, this is somebody who was on a trampoline. She was left needing stitches after her top lip was ripped away from her nose in the free running zone in the same park. The injury happened when she tried jumping off a wall onto a trampoline, which was meant to bounce her to another wall. Instead, unfortunately, she said it propelled me straight into the opposite wall, splitting the base of my nose away from my upper lip.
Now, that all seems terrible, but there's face painting.
She said there is a waiver to sign before you go jumping, which states that there's a risk of death. And she said, I wonder how many people actually read this. There's several stories.
I can't believe
it goes on and on in this story. So
why didn't they stop at sooner.
Shuttleworth resigned from the company in 2018. Mellon quit in 2020.
Who goes into a trampoline place that has a temporary morgue, Preston?
Was dissolved last year, and Flip Out Chester is now operated by a different franchisee. So,
I've never heard anything like that.
They had some trouble there. All right, this was an interesting video. A Texas Southern University tuba player knocked out an obnoxious heckler during a football game Saturday before carrying on playing his instrument.
Did you see this footage?
I did.
It's great.
Video taken from the stands during Saturday's game between Texas Southern and Jackson State shows the college band's tuba player bouncing along to the music while a fan started screaming at him. A Jackson State fan can be seen in the footage aggressively yelling at the tuba player as attempting to continue to play. Seeming to have had enough of the outburst, the Texas Southern tuba player says something to the man before swiftly punching him 4 times in the face. The band member then returns to his instrument as if the altercation never happened. In one recording of the incident, the band member can be heard telling the aggressive fan to, quote, F off, bitch. It's unclear whether the heckler, who stumbled back several feet in the stands, sustained any injuries from the scuffle. It's also unclear whether police responded to the incident or if any action was taken against the band member. Texas Southern University ended up losing to Jackson State 21-19, by the way. And we'll do one more story, and we will wrap it up. Let's end with this one. An anthropologist made a surprising discovery in a Florida thrift shop's Halloween section on Monday. The North Fort Myers shopper sported a skull and recognized that it was a real human skull.
Real human skull.
Responding detectives also determined that it belonged to a human. The store owner said the skull had been in the storage unit that was purchased years ago. Sheriff's office is working with the local medical examiner to run further tests on the skull. Officials do not believe the case is suspicious in nature.
That was my skull.
Under Florida law, no person shall knowingly offer to purchase or sell any human organ or tissue for valuable consideration. Eyes, corneas, kidneys, livers, hearts, lungs, pancreases, bones, and skin are subject to the rule.
Well, what's left? Well, it's not even worth grave robbing anymore.
Officials have not said whether anyone will face charges in connection with the discovery of the skull at the thrift shop, by the way.
We're looking at a picture of this skull. That is an accurate, that's a human skull.
Yep, and that is the last story I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. I had mentioned I've been trying to clear out my shard outs, so let me get to one here real quick. Yeah, let's go to this one. This is from John Cherico. Says, good morning to see you. Diane and I are celebrating the beginning of 16 years together. And is it possible to get a big, long, juicy shard out after you do the bizarre file? Thank you very much. And by the way, I got this on July 20th.
All right. There you go.
Oh, my God.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Johnny C. in Palmyra, New Jersey. Some of them get lost in the shuffle.
Like this one?
Like this one.
Like this one. And I apologize, but I hope you guys had a great anniversary.
What was that, in July, right?
That was in July. Yeah. July 20th. Right. You sent it at 5:33 p.m. So thank you and congratulations. Tell John and Diane happy anniversary.
They've probably been split up for about a month.
They probably have been. All right, and there you go. That's what I have for you. Oh, I already said I already have a problem. All right, but what I have is something else. Mr. Stickies.
Yeah.
They have arrived.
Some of that real sticky, icky. Oh, wait.
How was your sandwich?
It was fantastic. They have the Sticky Witch breakfast sandwiches. Even though the name says Sticky Witch, like the bun isn't sticky. Like your fingers aren't going to get... See, like when I initially heard that, I'm like, that sounds really good, but that sounds really messy.
No.
But it's not that way. The sticky buns are that way.
And
you can use knife and fork for those. But the sandwich is made with like a cinnamon, it's like their cinnamon roll, but they make it differently so you don't get all sticky.
It's the best of all possible worlds.
And mine had sausage and egg and cheese on it. It's fantastic. So I have a $50 gift card for Mr. Stickies in Pottstown, PA, by the way. And we'll take caller number 20 at 215-263-WMMR. By the way, they're now taking Thanksgiving pre-orders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can order in-store online at MrStickiesBuns.com. And Mr. Stickies, warning, extremely addictive. Yeah, so, but remember, it's Mr. Stickies, plural, MrStickiesBuns.com. All right, we're going to take a break. Be back in a second. Hang out for a second.
Jordan, when they're like, go to see him play baseball, and they're like, oh, you play basketball? Oh my gosh, this is a whole other crazy.
Wait, you're the Michael Jordan of comedy?
No.
Michael Jordan of baseball.
Yeah.
Yes. Was
exactly.
Was Chuck and Larry the first movie you did with Adam, or did you do anything before that?
Adam saw my stand-up on Comedy Central.
Okay.
So he was in bed with his wife, and he was channel surfing. And he was like, oh, it's this kid. And I was a kid at the time. And he wrote my name down and went to the office, and he was like, who is this dude? And a lot of the younger guys were like, oh, that's this kid, Nick Swartzen. That was my first special. And I used to do jokes about my grandmother.
Oh, I love them.
And so he had a script called Grandma's Boy. And he like called my manager, and I had a meeting with him, which was surreal, obviously. And the whole time I just wanted to be like, yeah, you. So I didn't do that, and that's why I'm still working with him. But
there's a scene in that movie. Michelle Carmen, who's one of our calendars, is the girl who is across the street.
Moon balloons.
Oh yeah.
She's from Philly. And she's in one of our calendars. Yes.
I remember Sandler called me up and he goes, "Hey man, I'm doing this movie Chuck and Larry with Kevin James," and I was like, "All right, cool." And he goes, "Yeah, it's a part for you," and I go, "Okay, great." And he goes, "Yeah, you're playing Jessica Biel's brother." And I'm like, "That's amazing." And he goes, "Yeah, you're a gay brother." And I was like, "I've been doing a lot of gay stuff." I was on Reno 911 at the time. So I was like 4 or 5 years deep in Reno 911. And he was like, "No, dude, it's not like your character Terry on Reno 911. It's different. It's not that gay." And I show up to I show up to wardrobe, and they put me in like a butterfly outfit with like tiny shorts.
Yes.
And I was like, "Yeah, this is way different. Way different."
And then you end up playing in another movie I think is underrated, is Blades of Glory.
Oh yeah.
And you play the stalker.
Yeah.
Who comes up with the conceit that gets
I saved the movie.
Saved the movie, yeah. But that was another gay character.
It was gay-ish. It wasn't like bursting into flames. It was just like half my leg was on fire.
I wanted to ask about your fascination with bats, because we had seen an interview that you love bats. You want to have pet bats or something like that.
What interview is that?
I don't know. It says here he loves bats. Wanted to buy a bat farm in a recent interview.
Did you
That's
want to buy?
insanity.
That's not
That
you.
is completely false. Bats are horrifying. I want nothing to do with bats.
So who
You never said that in an interview?
grabbed the
I
piece of
probably did,
information?
but I do a lot of mushrooms.
Who grabbed the piece of information about the bat farm?
I don't know what could possibly have happened there.
In your data sheet.
Bats are literally horrifying. I remember when I was growing up, I lived in an apartment with my mom, and there was a bat in the house, and me and my mom were freaking out, and they make a weird high-pitched sound. They're horrifying.
Unlike anything you've ever heard, and they're making their location sound, their echolocation. You know it the second you hear it.
Yeah, you know the second you hear it. And me and my mom freaked out, and we hid in her bedroom. We didn't know what to do, because it's like, it's like, do we call the police? Like, I don't know what to do. And the bat climbed. They can fit under, like you said, this tiny sliver underneath the door.
That's all they need.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And it came in, and it made this weird sound, and I just end up killing my mom and eating her. And
Okay,
I
so
just want her to live through that.
So it's the absolute
All right.
antithesis
The love
of
of
a bat
bats is incorrect then.
All right. How?
Yeah, I don't know who said that.
It was when you were in Austin for your third time. It says, "Why do you keep coming back?" And you said, "I love Austin. I actually looked into buying a place there. Just like the vibe. It's creative. Everyone is super cool. I love the music, and you have bats. I want to move there and buy a bat farm."
It was a joke.
Yeah. I lied to that city. That was an open lie.
Christy, did you come up with that information? That's our intern, Christy,
Yeah.
by the way. She tried to go see your show last night, but got stuck in traffic and couldn't make it. She went all the way out there to Bethlehem.
I'm sorry.
And couldn't make it. And you got a show in Albany tonight?
I have Albany tonight and then Brigada tomorrow.
Wow, dude.
DC. Yeah, I'm on, I think it's like at 35 or 40 cities right now.
I mean, so now besides the flight and you got that stuff all handled, are you a good traveler generally?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm pretty easygoing. I mean,
Okay.
I have like a tour bus, so I don't have to fly a lot.
You have a tour bus, okay.
Yeah, and people think it's like wild, but it's really not. Like we go to like Whole Foods, and then like I'm trying not to like drink on this tour. I drank on the last tour, and it was just the wheels came off horrendously. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Do you self-impose? Because my wife will sometimes do that. Just like, and not she's not an alcoholic or anything. She just I just want to take a month or two and just take a break.
I'll go hard for like 5 years, and then I'll take like a month off, and it really helps. It really
5
helps.
years, 1 month, 5 years, 1 month.
It's all about the balance. You know what I mean?
Great to see you, man. Thanks
Yeah,
for being
cheers,
here.
guys.
That is Nick Swartz.
I had sex yesterday.
What?
I did. It was a wonderful experience. We had a window.
Oh,
very
could
rare.
people see through it?
It's very rare. Yes, of course.
I was watching the whole time.
Our next door neighbors,
Press, we're really enjoying it. Keep going.
Steve and Karina. Hope you guys enjoyed that. No, it was nice. And when you've got essentially 5 grown people living in the same house, it's tough to find opportunities to do that. So I relish it when it happens. But there was an article that Steve had sent to me last week that I didn't get a chance to get to. And it's 7 things that men wish women would do the first time they have sex. But it's also 7 things that women wish men would do the first time.
So you're getting some assistance here, and I think at least one of them in both lists is do it by an open window.
I think so. So you want me to start with what the ladies would like?
I think that's the most interesting. Yes.
Ladies first?
Yeah, let's go that way.
Okay, so this is according to this article, and number 1 on the list is give lots of compliments at the start.
Way to go! That's my girl.
Even if it, and listen to the example here, even if it's a mumbled perfect breasts.
Oh my God! Wait, what? Wait,
or there's no way. What?
No!
What did I miss?
I get it. Just that.
Oh, grody.
That's like Casey's.
Well, that was more of a reaction than I thought.
Oh God!
Your knockers. Not your knockers. Your breasts. Your breasts are like melons. Not melons. Like pillows. Can I fluff your pillows?
Oh my God!
Or your breasts are perfect. Or your skin feels so soft.
Okay,
that one's
That's
okay,
all
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to turn it into a coat.
That's it.
Well,
Ed Gein? No, make some acknowledgement of the fact that you're thrilled that you finally got your hands on our body. This is according to women.
I've been waiting to feel you up for years.
Even if you don't think we're a 10 and don't need to be told it, tell us anyway.
When you were our babysitter, I so wanted to feel you up, but now you're of age.
It says there's nothing sexier than a lover looking at you up and down, then straight into the eye and saying, "My God," in a strangled, overcome voice.
I think it's just because it's coming from you, maybe. I'm not.
That's weird.
Let me ask you, Kathy, and Marissa, so we have you both in.
Wait a minute.
Thanks.
And is
Hand that off.
there, do you like being talked to a lot during?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
Kathy.
Shut up.
Yeah, totally.
Get it over.
Shut up.
Stop bothering me.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Make your deposit and shut up.
By the way, I want to try this. It says, try saying "my God" in a strangled, overcome voice. So let me try that.
God.
My God. Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
She says it's daunting being naked in front of someone for the first time. Knowing you think we look great helps us relax into it. All right, number 2 on this list is the things that 7 things that women hope for the first time you have sex with them. Show us how much you want us.
Oh, okay.
It says a bit of caveman is a good thing.
I did a pie chart presentation here, if you don't mind. If you notice in the first graph, the overlapping colors depict how much I want you.
No, it says a bit of caveman is a good thing.
This is terrible.
It says this doesn't mean pushing us back on the bed, unzipping yourself and going for it.
No.
That we don't want. But being too tentative is an equal turnoff.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
You want to be a man, but you don't want to be over.
You have to be
overzealous.
a polite caveman.
Right.
Would it be okay if I jumped on you?
Grog-like. All right, and then number 3 on this list says once our consent has been given, go for it.
Well,
it says undress us like we're the most longed for present you've ever wanted.
A PlayStation.
Just thinking of those two little kids in front of the Christmas tree.
Just ripping their clothes off.
That's exactly what I wanted.
It says, let your eyes and fingers trail over every part. Let us see naked lust in your eyes.
Would you just get this over with?
Grab a handful of hair and pull it.
Oh my God. That's my pubic hair.
Grab our face and kiss us hard. Let me grab your face.
What are you doing?
I'm tugging on your ears.
You're hurting me. I can't breathe. I know you're holding. Listen, stop it. Relax.
All right. Number 4 on this list is, it says, give us lots.
Locks?
No, I'm sorry. Kiss us lots.
Here's some locks. Here's a schmear.
No, kiss us lots. Soft kisses on the lips, deep kisses with an occasional tongue darting in and out, nibbles and bites on the neck.
All right, so let me ask you guys, and we've heard this said in a number of surveys, that those little aspects of affection are actually more desirable in the long run. The gentle stroking, massaging and kisses, and that romantic side of it is more what is preferred. Is that correct? I pose it to you two.
I don't know. This is all disgusting.
Oh my God. It all depends on the person. I'm going to speak up for the ladies.
Yeah, no, it does.
Some people, you need to have communication when you're getting naked.
I love a neck kiss. If
Okay.
that's what you're going for,
Okay,
Steve.
yeah.
But like too soft?
That's a big turn on.
Nah,
Yeah.
you need to, like-
What about darting tongues and that strangled voice?
Darting tongues. That's where I draw a line.
Steve.
What are you saying? I don't like that sound.
You had darting tongues one time, right?
Darting tongues?
Or licking tongues.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
they
licked
licked
my
your
face.
face. Oh, my God.
Right in front of you, too.
You had a face licker in front of Kathy?
It was a joke.
Oh,
But we
okay.
were like at an appearance. We were like Questlove was DJing. We were
I don't
hosting a party.
Stop it. I just put my makeup on.
All right. It says women love kissing, so don't rush through it. And to get to the main event, for you, that's intercourse. Foreplay is the best part for us.
Is it really the best part, though?
I don't know.
For you? I'm asking the ladies.
It depends on who you're talking to. That's the thing.
Just get it done. Get it done. And shut up. Stop with the darting tongue and no pooper.
Kathy.
MMR.
It's a very interesting social media post by David D. Timothy, PhD, who goes by Dr. Timony. I'm sorry, I said Timothy.
Dr. Timony.
Timony. And he's referring to Casey and says, has nobody noticed that since he saw his back muff in the shadow, we've had 6 more days of summer?
It's true. The new groundhog.
So Casey saw
his back muff.
His back muff.
I shaved it, by the way.
You shaved it?
Let's see.
Let me see.
I'll show you. Now,
Mona calls it, well, the old wives' tale is that it'll grow back thicker now.
yeah, whatever. But I'm just getting ready for the laser stuff that's going to happen.
Oh, that's
eventually.
right, yes.
Yeah, so it's I
Let
shaved
me
it.
see.
Yeah, and it's got the little bumps from where you shaved it a little bit.
How did you you did it?
Yeah.
With clippers or?
Yeah, with clippers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
just
didn't use a razor?
no. I just have.
You don't have an ass razor?
Yeah, it's his
Not
back.
an ass razor.
Technically, it's his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So when I'm looking at the videos and the picture, it's not as bad as seeing it in real life.
Agreed. Yes, it didn't do justice. We should have altered those photos a little bit and changed the...
put in some tropical birds.
Well, we could have darkened it a little bit, and I think you would have seen more of the Casey's back muff.
Yeah.
His fuzz bowl. His little...
You would think it was Rasputin walking away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, so anyhow, but maybe it's good luck. I don't know. With the weather that you saw the muff shadow.
You can be doing lottery commercials.
The Eagles and Sixers are undefeated.
Yes, true.
How about all that? All right, Kathy wanted me to talk about this story. When you think about sex positions,
yes,
there are tried and true ones like missionary and cowgirl that come to mind. Of course, Kathy, I know.
Cool. So we've
got
done
personal
superheroes,
favorites,
we've
yeah.
done poop, and now we're doing
And
sex.
now we're doing sex.
This
Yes,
is great.
exactly. Morning.
We're trying to really get
Keep
that
shopping.
lifetime crowd.
Yeah. There is a lesser known position that is capturing America's interest these days.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Balled up and crying?
No.
Oh.
According to Google Trends data analyzed by Bed Bible, which is a sex toy review platform, the most searched sex position in 14 states, including Louisiana, Minnesota, Kentucky, Nevada, Utah, and West Virginia, among others, is a position called the pretzel.
The pretzel?
Yes.
Wetzels?
No.
Oh.
Philly pretzel.
Philly pretzel.
No.
The pretzel.
You guys ever heard of the pretzel?
Not at all.
No.
I'm pretty sure you've seen the pretzel. I don't know if you've tried it or not. It's not as crazy as the name might imply.
Because I would think you'd be all twisted up unless you're doing a classic Philly pretzel, which would be a little bit more linear.
The Philly pretzel is almost like an 8.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Almost
It
like a
is.
figure 8.
So, okay, I see what we're doing here.
Well, here, I'm going to explain it.
Yeah.
I would, no, take the, okay, never mind.
Take it down.
I was going to describe it and see if you guys
Well,
can
yeah.
figure
I
it out.
want to.
Well, for the radio audience. So it's when the person on the bottom lies on their side while the person on top kneels down, straddling their partner's bottom leg and holding up the top leg while doing their business.
You have to be fairly flexible if you're the one who's having to move your legs that wide akimbo, right?
If you're on the bottom?
Yeah.
You guys ever
No
try
hip
this?
injuries.
You guys do this one?
I do it by myself.
I don't. I think maybe at one point in my
I don't know if
sex
I'm like-
career.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm
when
like-
you're working as a sex worker.
I'm not crazy adventurous with positions.
That's not crazy though. It's I don't know if I want to talk about this.
You talk about your back muffin, you won't talk about your.
So a friend of mine said that it's actually comfortable.
Oh.
And
so much so you could fall asleep?
Yeah. Well, afterwards, yeah. After
you shoot?
everything finishes, yes. I didn't want to get scientific like that.
After you shoot.
But it's comfortable. It's not physically taxing. And actually, they said that it feels great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are some experts that would concur with that. It says here it's a great position to experiment with you if you enjoy missionary but are looking to change things up a bit.
You don't like the religious aspect.
It says, for one, the pretzel can be a great option if you're looking to enhance intimacy because it allows you to make eye contact with your partner. And also there's a deepness factor as well.
As far as, okay, I got it.
Getting deeper.
Right.
Deepness
is in
it's just
depth.
loving each other on a very, very
on
deep
a
level.
deep level, yes.
Some might say balls deep.
I knew you were going to say that.
I love you on a deep level. Balls deep.
The top can lift their partner's leg at any which way to really get in there, according to
really get on in there.
Zachary Zane, who wrote this for Men's Health magazine.
Yes.
Reputable
Zachary Zane,
periodical.
his brother Zubba.
Zubba Zane's brother Zachary. Plus, the position allows both partners to have at least one hand free.
Right, for typing.
High-fiving.
Which means that you can add on
For your pretzel.
sexy touch to your own or your partner's body.
If you were to concoct, no pun intended, a pretzel position that mimicked a classic German pretzel, how would you achieve that?
You'd need a couple people.
I think you'd
need like 3
right?
people.
Yeah,
for
and
something
right.
like that. I would think, yeah. Which is great.
Should we try it?
Yeah.
At the camp out?
I wish I would have told Connor not to put a picture up here because it was harder to wrap your mind around it by the description, and I was going to actually show you.
Oh,
yeah, with who?
I was going to pick a volunteer from the audience.
Let me ask you something. Like it's in a way, it's akin to scissoring, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
to scissoring. So
only
to
with
put an image with a
male female.
Yeah.
Instead of 2 females. Yes.
Two females. So
that's a good way to put
it.
Yes. Yeah, very much like
safety
scissoring.
scissors.
Yeah.
By the way, I've heard that's a total myth.
Yes.
Scissors?
Scissoring, yeah, for lesbians.
Oh, yeah.
But you've heard another.
It's a porn trope, but it's not really used in very often.
However,
in
I
sexual
heard
encounters with women.
Your own mouth, though, that there's another spin-off of that does work.
Tribbing?
Tribbing.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is where you pretend you're Joey Tribbiani?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
What is tribbing?
It's not my first time. I can't. There's no way I can describe it here.
Are you okay? Are you?
There's no way I can describe it here.
Are you familiar with what is referred to as doving?
No.
All right.
Okay.
All right, we're looking at.
Is there any way you can describe that?
Probably not. When two women,
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, that would be
That's the same
scissoring.
thing. That's
yeah.
scissoring.
No, it's not. They don't have their legs in this position. Connor, pull up a.
Find a video.
Find a video, if you would, please.
This is.
Do I have
not-
everyone's consent?
This is not okay.
Doving, I don't know. Somebody told me about it, and I like, wow.
Never heard of it.
Maybe
So,
it's similar
all right.
to tripping. I don't know.
So, oh. Okay, I
don't
can't
even try.
I
Don't even
can't
try.
Yeah.
All right. So, by the way, the pretzel. Going back to that, the pretzel may not be the best choice if the person on top has back pain, as they bear most of the work. Apparently, if the person on the bottom has hip pain, they may find it uncomfortable to lie on their side or to have their leg up in this particular way. Lowering the top leg can relieve some of that discomfort. So there are some pain issues that can happen within the pretzel. Consequently, this position might be more enjoyable after warming up with a few other positions, while the body is more aroused, they've said.
All right, I'm writing the description of doving here.
Okay.
I'm sorry for my handwriting. Can you read that?
Okay.
Let me take a peek.
Oh.
Casey's
I did
looking.
calligraphy.
Do you understand what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that was called doving.
That's called doving.
It's a woman uses her boobie at some point on, on another woman in a not boobie area.
We're getting so technical.
Dr. Mike's going to call in.
Yeah. It's not, no.
What you gotta do?
Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway, I was not aware that people were so curious about this, so much so that all of these states have all the Google alerts on the pretzel.
And this is according to Bed Bible?
Bed Bible, a sex toy review platform, but it was according to Google Trends data.
Okay. And again, so this is very popular. Or at least the search
Or
word.
curious.
Curious.
People are curious about it.
All right.
They want to know.
To me, it seems like something you might actually just by jumping around happen on anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just kind of flopping around. You
It's
might
like-
end up in that
Like
position.
you show up to Golden Corral, oh, I tried the piece. Right? It's like, okay.
Yeah. There are, it's funny because positions, it's in the earlier days of exploration, they seem, pardon the term, titillating. They seem, wow.
Oh my
doing it in all
God.
these different ways. Oh my God. And then when it boils down to it, it's more like it's more fun doing the kind of standard ones. Now I'm speaking from a personal point of view, of course. But I remember in my earlier days
oldies but goodies.
of just the ideas of trying these different things in Kamasutra.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna be upside down on the wall, and you're gonna come in with the football helmet on,
And then you find out it's too much work.
Right.
I mean, I personally
honestly, you would, and when the thought was to go for incredibly long periods of time.
Yeah.
After a while, it's like,
you don't need to go for a
Jeopardy's
long
on.
Yeah.
Tom Segura has a bit where
Jeopardy's on.
just coming up when you're inexperienced and or you don't have any experience when he was growing up.
Who is this?
Tom Segura, comedian, and he was obsessed with a certain sexual number.
Okay. Yes.
And
the number is the other number upside down.
Yes. And when he eventually finally got to do it for the first time, like, it was one of those things where, I mean, he wrote it in his notebook.
Yeah,
and, it was just, he couldn't get it out of time. And then he tried it, and he hated it. He hated every single bit of it. I don't think he's ever done it since.
Yeah.
It is, I kind of understand because you've got...
you have to be matched up.
Well, not only that is you're paying attention to performing a duty.
Yeah.
And sometimes can't enjoy what's being performed upon you.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying?
That's part of the joy in it. Losing control. Like not being able to concentrate because the other person's doing their job. No, dude. Don't be disgusting. No, I think part of the pleasure in it is that you you give and receive at the same time, and both of those things are sort of opposing.
Lose yourself.
You lose yourself.
I'm like, okay,
Preston, you're saying that you can't fully focus on your. However,
I like the lack of focus.
Oh, see, I prefer focus.
I not every time.
Focus too.
When it becomes that.
It's the old joke.
All right.
Yeah. No.
When it becomes what, Nick?
I think that's part of the appeal. It's like if you're gonna add up to that number, and
69.
Jesus Christ.
If we can go balls deep, we can say 69.
I don't know if we can, but whatever.
Okay.
We'll find out. Anyway, that's my thought on it.
All right. Well, this conversation is getting real choppy, so I'm going to move on to holiday gatherings.
Yeah.
Everybody gather around.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody.
Watch this new position.
Pretzel.
Grandma, show him the new position.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you do like this. It's like scissoring. Oh, Lordy, someone should have told me I would have shaved my bush.
Oh,
If
your winter
I had no
bush.
idea I was putting on a clinic. I would have chopped down the overbush. All right, everybody, come on into the parlor.
The average American will attend 5 holiday
We're going to open presents.
5 holiday gatherings at 5 different houses this year.
What's this now? The 5 different... So we have actually...
you will attend 5 holiday gatherings at 5 different houses this year.
Have you guys already received a holiday invite?
2 minutes to talk about this, by the way. No, to parties?
We have actually, and we're very excited. I do love, especially we have some wonderful friends that, and when you get together with people that you really enjoy their company for the holidays, it is a wonderful thing. The one thing is we had our first conflicting invite though.
Where another event was going on?
We were going to a pretzel party. And,
yeah. And the 69ers had asked you over.
Yeah.
84% of Americans are excited about the holiday season, even if they don't celebrate common winter holidays. 43% of respondents are most excited about Thanksgiving, and 33% can't wait for Friendsgiving.
Ooh, Friendsgiving.
The average respondent said that they would need just over 2.5 hours to get ready for a party that they were hosting.
2.5 hours.
And she's back.
I'm like, it's 3 days. 2.5 hours.
25% of Americans are not looking forward to washing the dishes or cleaning up after the holiday meals. I really look forward to doing the dishes.
I love the grudge work.
Wow.
We had to stop our Friendsgiving party when one of the friend's sons almost got killed by a moving tractor that didn't have the emergency brake on.
Oh, you told this story. Yeah.
Well, why can't you just
do it without tractors?
Yeah. Well, my friend lives on a farm, so it was on their farm, and they would, take some of the equipment out just so the kids could see it or whatever. And there was, it was going to be pulling kind of like a hay ride they had for everybody, and we would do it every year. It was great. And for whatever reason, something on the tractor got hit by one of the kids, and he was in the tractor. Tractor started to roll towards a lake that they have on their property. It was like we all just watched, and it was like it was slow motion, and it was not slow motion. The kid was smart enough to jump. He jumped out, rolled, and 2 guys, I've never seen people run so fast, and they dove into the tractor to grab the emergency brake to stop it before it went into the water.
Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah, that's
so
dangerous.
that ended the tractor ride, also ended the entire event. That
I think that's collateral damage. I think you should just do it and just do it without tractors. Stop that stupid tractor pull.
So 5 holiday gatherings at 5 different houses this year is the average. It's the American average.
Listen, I think it's important to get out and see people, family and friends.
I don't.
No.
So, So,
I think it's something.
I'll go the other way.
So, but you do. You end up doing. You have family come out, right? You have.
I don't really like it, but I mean,
But Thanksgiving's one of your favorite holidays.
I love Thanksgiving. I
just don't like seeing people.
I like Thanksgiving when it's just us.
Okay.
When it's just the family. I don't like the gigantic.
No, neither do I.
Everybody's coming over, or everybody's going to this person's house gathering. I really don't care for it.
You don't want 12 grandchildren and all that stuff?
I have to say, though, I do love when we host the big Christmas party. It's after. What we do, though, is we do it after New Year's.
Yeah.
So that the hubbub and all the hustle and bustle is dramatically diminished.
Yeah, that'd be
and
a
then
little
we see everybody for that, and that makes it much more enjoyable.
All right, so when you say the holidays, I just, for some reason, automatically just thought Christmas. Are you looping Christmas and Thanksgiving together?
I think it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's considered the holiday season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I don't know.
You're a big family dude.
I know. I don't like going to places. I don't mind people coming to my place.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's why we took the case. We took the Christmas party at our place because I don't like to travel. Yeah. But people come and we make sure it's well worth their while. But I understand that you know, I used to be the guy who was, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But if you do it the right way, you can enjoy it.
So last Christmas, my brother was supposed to host, and everybody was going to his house. It was my whole family, his in-laws, and all that. And then that morning, we get a message saying, "Dude, we have a leak in our house, and we can't host." Like they didn't have any hot water or anything like that. So we ended up having to just on the fly.
I remember this.
We had everybody come to our house.
Right.
And that was a lot. You're talking about all the grandchildren, all the siblings and their spouses, plus my brother's in-law family.
How many people total?
Oh, geez. A lot. So this 12 plus 8, that's 20, plus another 5, plus another 2.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. We had to make that decision at 10 o'clock in the morning. And so we didn't have all that time to, but I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this is cool. Like, it's like a little adventure. You know, but if I had to go somewhere, I'm like,
F that.
Anywhere.
Go to hell.
By the way, here's text says, I hate Christmas, but all this talk about Grandma's bush has got me in the highest holiday spirits.
It's beautiful, man.
We have a little something for everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep that so short, but we have to take a break because we have the CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame who's going to be joining us in just a moment. So
he wants to get in on the Grandma's bush conversation.
Who does not? Yeah. So we'll come back in a second, and he will join us. We'll be back. Oh, let me take. I'm going to take caller number 10 and give you a Mr. Sticky's $50 gift card. 215-263 WMMR. Call right now. Mr. Sticky's in Pottstown, PA. By the way, and you can check them out at MrStickiesBuns.com. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
That just says off me. Off me.
Now.
Off me. All right. Number 5, give great oral.
You still owe me another month's rent. So if I were you, I would start doing some tongue exercises before Friday.
Oh, my
God. That's Kingpin.
Kingpin?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Dude. She's great.
We need to isolate that.
Yep, we have it.
Just one more time.
God, she's awesome.
This is fantastic. I'm not even going to go into the details of that particular.
You know it is. Yeah.
To that particular.
Using your mouth to provide pleasure.
Yeah, but it goes into some detail, and I'm not going to go into that right now.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
Okay, number 6
Just going to say
says.
that some men might need that detail, so look it up if you need it.
Yes, for real.
Yeah.
You know, and ask. Feel free to ask what they prefer. Yeah. I think anyway. Like, do you like it when I do that? Yeah. When I go like this?
What is it about good?
Oh, I thought you were queuing that one up again.
It's still good.
All right, so here's another one.
Yeah.
And I think we agree on this. The ladies say, let us finish first.
Yes.
By finish, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Everyone knows the second he's done, sex is done. It's polite and it's logical. Men usually save their last moment for intercourse.
Yeah.
It's the finale. I mean, the confetti comes out, you know.
Yeah. But it also says, but don't stress if we don't.
That's right.
If we end up not having that happen.
You, men?
Yeah. No. Women. Don't
so not finish.
Don't stress. I'm reading the article from a woman's perspective.
Okay.
Don't stress if the woman doesn't complete.
It would probably help if you said it with a woman's voice. So
I don't have the thing.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I didn't finish. I didn't like it, and I wanted you off me all the time. But you're the king.
Oh my God.
You're the best, Rubber Johnny.
Casey almost spit coffee out.
Rubber Johnny.
That's his name.
Rubber Johnny is that character that Steve was playing.
Oh, Rubber Johnny. Oh, yeah.
That's from a song.
Oh, you're the king. You're the king. All right. Now I'm going to Floral and Hardy.
It's saying that if the woman does not complete, you don't have to freak out about it. So that's just what this particular article says.
Just don't give up too quickly.
Oh, no. You want to
Yeah.
listen. There, yes.
You can go get tools.
Yeah. You can work really, really hard.
I need a new drill bit.
But at some point, we know where Marissa's priority is.
Oh, I'm just speaking for the women that Kathy's not representing.
Thank you.
But if she says, hey, we tried, let's move on.
Yeah.
And then you got to move on.
Then one last thing it says here is what women would like the first time that you sleep with them.
That's right. This is all under the umbrella of first
time.
encounters.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. That actually casts a different. I wasn't keeping that in context. It's like when I play Jeopardy and I forget the category. So that changes some of my responses.
And then finally, say something nice afterwards.
You seem to be planning for the future.
It says some men clam up because they're concerned that they didn't perform well.
You know, for as small as that is, I actually enjoyed it.
And they don't want verbal confirmation. If they rave about how great it was, you might come back with a dry, well, it was for one of us. And it says, we get that, but you may need, and I should be saying this in a female voice.
Let me do it.
We get that,
okay, baby.
But
you just say it and I'll repeat it.
We get that, but you need to understand that women operate differently. If there was a problem, talking about it helps. If it was great, talking about it makes it even better. At the very least, give us a squeeze and a kiss and say, I think you're amazing.
I think you're amazing, too.
Yeah.
A squeeze and a kiss.
I think you're amazing.
I love the way your skin generates mucus.
All right. Do you want to hear what the men say?
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, okay, this is your first encounter.
Yep.
And what men say they want.
Yes. All right. 7 things men wish women would do the first time they have sex. All right, here we go.
Stop telling you to get off.
No. Number 1, keep the lights on. Says a bit of a mood lighting is great and preferable to a gnarly bright room. But total darkness isn't. It's hard enough for him to guess if you're enjoying what he's doing by looking into your face and reading your body language. Trying to determine it when he can't see a thing is damn near impossible.
Do you like rave lighting?
No. But I can see that. Yeah. Look, complete darkness, total darkness, no.
No.
I do like a darkly...
accents of light.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's just a little bit so that you don't... I'm having a really good time!
Man. Okay, never mind.
Okay, no.
Go ahead.
I need to hear
Take it now.
There was one time, my girlfriend at the time and we were at somebody's house whose parents were out of town, which is just licensed to have at it. So we go up into a bedroom. It's later in the evening, and it's pitch black dark, and I'm doing this. Okay. And our friend, I think it was our friend Cindy, comes in and flips on the brightest lights in the world. And I'm like, I mean, buried in it.
Yo, do they...
And it was just, when those lights came on, it was like, oh my God.
What happens is that it's like seeing a bar you go to in the broad daylight.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's jarring.
Different story.
You look up, your mouth looks like you're in a watermelon eating contest.
So anyhow, a little bit of light. Guys would like a little bit of light. I'm okay with that. Number 2 says, don't stress out about your own body. A guy said, I slept with a girl who was so paranoid, she wouldn't let me touch her anywhere. She kept pushing my hands away and saying things like, don't touch my stomach. It's revolting. I gave up after a while and sex didn't happen at all. Because these are features that she didn't find flattering about herself.
And it's a sad thing to feel that way. And we all have our insecurities.
Sure.
And once you realize that, but a lot of times, again, people come in with standards that they've seen cultivated in movies and Instagram filters and all that stuff, and they think, oh my God, I'm falling short. And the truth is, you're normal, and a lot of what you see is abnormal.
It says insisting on darkness, hiding under the covers, keeping your bra on because you don't like your breasts.
I keep my bra on.
Wearing a T-shirt to bed. We're getting better, but a lot of women are still unnecessarily self-critical about their own bodies.
Yeah.
Number 3, don't overreact if all does not go to plan. This is guys. This is what they want women to do. Not overreact if all does not go to plans. It really helps to remember that you aren't the only one out to impress that very first time. Performance anxiety is real, and an anxious owner makes for, it says here, a penis that doesn't want to come out and play. It's normal for him to have issues the first time. It doesn't mean that he doesn't fancy you or that your body isn't good enough. It just means that he's nervous and as nervous as you are.
That is so true.
And
that's what Rubber Johnny taught me.
It says, ditto if he finishes too soon or takes too long. All right. Number 4, it says be active.
Be active.
It says sex is tiring. It's unfair to leave him to make it to make all the effort. It's also patronizing, insinuating that simply allowing him to have sex with you should be enough of a turn on.
When it's done right, it should be awkward and something you eventually tell your therapist.
Right. No. It says, don't be a dead starfish. Get active. Get on top
Be a blowfish.
and ride. Grab what you want and don't be shy. Put his hands where you want them. Give direction and feedback. Tell him what to do and what you like. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think, personally.
I don't want to put my hands in your butt.
Yes. And then here's the one that we agree on.
Okay.
Men and women.
All right.
Give great oral.
There we go.
That's what
Both
it says.
parties. How about
And there you go.
And we have that.
There's a scene at the end of the movie. It's an outtake where she's and God, she's awesome. What's her name again?
Lynn Shay.
Lynn Shay,
Yeah.
and she's awesome. We've had her in the studio, and she's in the Insidious movies, and she's great. But she's it's her sitting in the back of the vehicle that they're
Yep.
driving in. He just sort of has this image of her always haunting him. And Preston, she's doing that for about 6 minutes while they're getting this footage to incorporate into the scene. And she's going,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's hilarious.
All right, number 6 on this list. The guys want women to do the first time that they are naked in bed. Let us know that you're enjoying it. It
This
says,
is so great. It really is. I didn't want to have wine and watch White Lotus.
It says, moaning loudly and pretending you like everything he does is embarrassing for both of you. The induction ceremonies took place on Friday, and some wonderful things happened, as they always do at those ceremonies.
Yes.
And we just happen to have our good friend on to speak about it. He is the president and CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he's a guy from around here as well. Please give some love to Mr. Greg Harris.
Yeah.
Today. Good morning, Greg.
Greg,
Thank you. My pleasure to join you. How's everybody doing in Philly today?
Good. Do you need to hit your OnStar because your car's on its side?
You caught me. I'm not in the office. I'm traveling at the moment, but couldn't miss up an opportunity to talk to all the friends and family and all your listeners in the Philadelphia area, from the
Excellent.
shore to the Poconos. WMMR.
As we're zooming, you are sideways, though, so it's going to be kind of... You may see our heads actually tilt a little bit as we're talking to you, but... listen, so... Go ahead.
Is that better?
No.
Nah.
It's okay, though.
Don't worry about it, man. So anyhow, you can stream on Disney Plus the induction ceremony. The edited version and the more slick version is coming in. Is that January or February? I think I read.
It'll air on New Year's Day,
On New Year's
January
Day?
1st. So if you need a break after the Mummers Parade, go home and tune into ABC. It's going to be 3 hours. Prime time feature of all the great induction performances.
Excellent.
And Greg, as you've been to obviously loads of these events, what is something besides the performances? I would think that'd probably be, the peak of everything, the performances that happen. But besides that, what are some of the things you personally, a person who has seen this go down a few times, that you look forward to?
Wow. I always look forward to when the generations sort of cross generations. So you have younger artists honoring older artists, or older artists talking about some of the younger artists that they've helped or been involved with. And we can talk about that. When you said it, though, the first thing I thought of was Elton John talking about Bernie Taupin. And, long overdue for induction. Bernie's Elton's lyricist, wrote so many songs for Elton, and he's finally going in. And they talked about being, sharing a bunk bed in their first apartment when they were like 16 or 17. And just bringing that forward 40 plus years, they're both in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You know what's amazing to me is, and I agree, I love hearing the people who are inspired by the honorees, and a lot of times, they work out something or they're asked because of that association to be the people who induct them. But in addition to that, it always amazes me. This is a big honor, and when part of a band showed, I think was Tom Morello the only one who showed up for Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, and Tom did an amazing job. His speech, people should go Google it right away. It was just a complete call to action that if Rage has always been very politically active, socially active, and their fans are as well. And his message was that just because we're not on stage, we live in all of your hearts, and get out there and do things and take on the world. Of course, it would have been terrific to have him on the stage, but he did a great job and it delivered.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, since we're talking to Philly, I got to mention the Spinners.
Yeah.
Finally, that great sound of Philadelphia. And New Edition did an unbelievable job, complete with all the dance moves. And it was just off the charts.
Well,
really amazing.
And then they immediately announced their residency. They're going to be in Vegas, I think, at the Hard Rock, right?
You know what? I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But it's terrific. And, those songs are the sound of summer for anybody that grew up in the Delaware Valley.
It was cool to see Don Cornelius get the honor and all of those. A lot of times it's not the musicians themselves; it is the music execs and the peripheral that are part of it as well. That a lot of that ends up getting that's extracted from the full presentation because, as Preston said, the performances, that's the money shot.
Oh God, it's amazing. With Don Cornelius, right, founder, host of Soul Train, we showed footage in his bio video, and there was bands that were being honored. Chaka Khan, who was honored this year, was on Soul Train. Of course, the Spinners were on Soul Train, but David Bowie was on Soul Train. The Stones were on Soul Train, just off the charts. And then talk about a moment. Robbie Robertson passed away from the band in the last year, and there was a moment there where it was Elton John singing with Jamie Johnson. Chris Stapleton, my mistake, and Sheryl Crow. And then Brittany Howard of the Alabama Shakes, and they did The Wait. And,
wow.
I mean, goosebumps.
It's amazing.
Goosebumps.
Wow, I've got to see that. Some of the unusual pairings are what I love to see, and sometimes it happens in the form of performances, and other times it's just people hanging out, because Nick said he saw Dave Matthews was hanging out with Snoop Dogg.
Flava Flav.
Flava Flav.
Yeah.
That was it. We were playing some Snoop Dogg earlier this morning. But, he and Flava Flav were hanging out, and that's got to be a really cool thing to witness, seeing people from different backgrounds, different musical backgrounds, but coming together and maybe realizing they've been fans of each other for a long time.
Yeah, that is magic. These coming back to help honor them. I saw Flava Flav. I saw Todd, LL Cool J was there. Other artists, we had an event the night before with Chaka Khan and some of our donors and friends, and Ricky Lee Jones came over to say hi to Chaka.
Wow.
Just fun stuff like that. Really amazing. And the musical world was there. Eyes were on it, and the broadcast is out there. Anybody go to Disney Plus now, you can watch it, and then tune in on January 1st for the edited show.
Well, the biggest chatter that came back was the fact that Jimmy Page performed live for the first time in 8 years. Now, you had to know that was going to be happening, but most people did not know that was going to occur.
No, you know what? I knew it was happening, but even in the show run that you get, preparing days in advance, load-ins, all that stuff, it just said unnamed guitarist.
Unnamed guitarist. There we go.
And then he talk about a rock and roll moment. He was on the big screen paying tribute to Link Ray as the godfather of, really the electric guitar, but the effects and feedback and everything. And then all of a sudden you heard rumble, and the spotlight hit him, and there was Jimmy Page standing there, and he just ripped it up.
Yeah, I definitely have to see that. Rumble is one of the coolest songs, ever, one of the coolest pieces, and to have him there. But again, you had heard, he's mentioned that in passing, but didn't realize how profoundly affected he was by Link Ray, and how basically that's where he said, I got to do that. It's, stuff like that. Those are the moments for me that make the event so amazing.
Jimmy Page is a guitar hero god, but he was again a 15-year-old kid playing a Link Ray 45 in his bedroom and learning it on his guitar.
Yeah.
And that's what he's then on stage honoring this man that did shape his entire life. And, he did it in style. The double neck. He played rumble on a 12-string electric guitar.
That iconic SG of his is just incredible. Did you get a chance to talk to him that evening?
I just said a hello to him, but I did not talk to him, at length, but just a hello and thank you. These are really important, and these artists, you couldn't pay them enough to do this. They come because they want to pay tribute. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're fans, and you can tell. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so Disney Plus, you can see the whole thing. How long did it run, by the way, Greg?
I think it weighed in at about 4.5 hours.
No way. Watch the distilled
there
version.
wasn't a slow moment. It just kept going.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm definitely going to check it out. And then January 1st, you'll be able to watch the edited version of it and all its glory. It's always great. I'm never, ever disappointed when I watch the induction ceremonies. It's kind of like the moment you pop it on, you're in all the way because just cool things keep happening.
It's a celebration.
All right, Greg, great to talk to you, sir. We'll catch up another time and continued success in everything at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, bud.
Thank you. Have a great day, and best to everybody in the Philadelphia area.
You got it. Greg Harris, President, CEO, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And someday we gotta do our show from there.
Oh, I'd love to.
It'd be fantastic.
And maybe Jimmy Page will come on with us. I know he's a huge fan of the show, Preston.
He likes to keep it quiet, but we understand.
It's a lot of stuff we don't know about him.
He's a very private guy, so I get it. We have another guest.
Yes.
Our guest is in the studio. And he's here to promote his film, which is opening on Friday. There is a screening tonight, by the way, at the Boers, 7:30, and tickets available at filmadelphia.org. There's a Q&A with him as well. And the movie is called Share.
Yes.
I have to say that correctly because there's a question mark after it. Please welcome writer and director Ira Rosensweig.
Hey, guys.
Nice to see you, Ira.
Great to be here.
Thanks for being here. Did I say that right? Rosensweig?
No one does, so I'm not
it.
upset, but it's Rosensweig.
Rosensweig.
Yes.
What were your relatives thinking? Rosensweig. Okay.
Yeah, but they were thinking a lot of things. His full name is Ira Mordecai Rosensweig.
Oh, my God.
Mordecai.
Yes.
You were saddled with that.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
I love that name.
There's no way you were going to not work your way to the top.
You got to love it or you got to do other things.
Okay, so this movie is a mystery to me.
Okay.
From the trailer. It looks bizarre and compelling and a little social commentary on maybe the world we live in with social media. Can you give us the description of it so people can understand what this is about?
So plot-wise, basically, it's about a man who wakes up essentially naked in a bare room that looks like a bit like a futuristic prison cell. There's nothing in the room except for this like 1980s style like computer terminal in his wall.
Yeah.
And he has no idea why he's there, or he's lost his short-term memory, and basically he realizes that the only way he can survive in this space is by performing for the camera that is behind this monitor. And little by little, he realizes he's not the only person in this predicament. So it's a sci-fi thriller. Definitely, it's about our relationship with technology, a lot of social media components in it. And
couldn't come at a better time. I mean, my question would be, how did you stay out ahead of the absurdity of what we're doing right now? Because this, to me, is a classic high concept movie of the kind you would find in the 70s, where you'd be, where you go in with no expectations. You don't, and I love stuff like this where you don't know where it's going. I'm a big fan of the writer Harlan Ellison and the Twilight Zone episodes where what's going on? What's the story here? But the fact that you're able to gain at least rewards by getting shares, I assume, makes the whole thing. So he encounters one of the gentlemen that he's able to communicate with is Bradley Whitford.
Right, correct.
And a friend of mine, Chris Gore, runs a website, Film Threat.
Sure.
And their critics were raving on this and Bradley Whitford's performance. How did you get Bradley Whitford?
So, funnily enough, we wrote the role for Mark Maron.
No kidding.
Yeah,
He's a friend of the show.
Friends with Mark.
Yeah, and he's great. I'm a longtime WTF listener, and a lot of the things he likes to talk about on the show actually inspired some of the dialogue. So we wrote it for him. We sent it to his agent to give to him. Mark passed, but his agent loved it and said, "Hey, what do you think about me giving this to Bradley Whitford?" I said, "Hey,
that
please.
hack."
Yeah. So I said, please do." He read it very quickly and immediately got back, and he was in. Even before talking to me, he's like, "I think the script is amazing. I want to do it."
And he loves this kind of stuff because we were just talking. His performance in Cabin in the Woods, is so great, and so when he needs to really bring it at that level, he can do it.
I mean, and Get Out, and he's won 3. I mean, the man's amazing. So
Steve mentioned the reviews. The very opening title of the trailer says Steven Soderbergh, and I think it says "Brilliant AF" or something like that. So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I was kind of like any validation I needed. Kind of was satisfied with just that quote. So
all right. So the idea for this, did this come out of a love-hate relationship with technology?
You could say that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not the biggest person on social media. I definitely use it for business because it's if you don't, you get left behind.
You're not a Luddite, but I mean, you have to use it.
Sure.
You have to use it.
But I think even if people aren't that into social media, it won't get lost in them. We are all so tied into technology today. Throughout the movie, this man keeps getting distracted by this prompt that keeps appearing on his screen that says share.
Yeah.
And we all, we have cell phones. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm with my family, and I just want to unplug, I'll hear in another room that phone dinging.
Yeah.
And it even if you're not going to answer it, it makes you become less present. And so I think we can all kind of relate to that.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what's funny, Ira, is that what happens is, and I out of the gate, I was like, I don't know. I don't want to do texting. I mean, this is years ago. Right. I'll just make the call. And then you by sheer force of technology, you find yourself not only you get sucked in, and so as no matter how reticent you are to be a participant. Everything around us sort of mandates that at some form or another you have to use it.
100%.
Yeah.
It's whether we want to or not, it's there. It's part of our lives. The movie is not saying this is evil, don't use it. But I think a lot of people, it's so interwoven into all of our lives that we just kind of take it for granted now. And I don't think we're really thinking about what it may be doing to us or the way we have our relationships or how we live. So
well, now you have active lawsuits. I mean, Facebook, which is kind of weird that Facebook is the one that's being dragged out for in multiple states against Facebook for corrupting children. I think most teens don't give a rat's ass about Facebook at this point, so it'd be TikTok would be the obvious. But still, again, you can always say that with all of that comes some good stuff and some benefits and some, getting in touch with people who may have the same disease that you have, or finding a lost relative or whatever. Yeah, so there are pros and cons. It is that thing, though, about the share, about saying, how come no one liked my photograph? How come no one liked my little... And the hilarious nature of people believing they have the method by which they can really rock social media. It's all a crapshoot.
Oh, totally. It's 100%. And I know so many people, and I'm guilty of this as well. You post something, you're like, oh, I can't wait to see how many people liked it. What people are saying, and then there's nothing.
Nothing.
And then you just it's all about dopamine hits. It's an alarming thing. I don't think we're as humans not evolutionarily able to keep up with how quickly things are progressing. So.
It's the reason that I tempered my use on social media in particular. Technology I have to use for certain things, but on social media I found myself going back to that picture I posted and how many likes were there and what the comments were, and I caught myself doing this.
I guess I have no worth.
And I'm like, I'm a rat hitting the feeder bar in an experiment. And I looked at it that way, and I backed way off of it, much to the chagrin of my company, I'm sure, because they want you to use it like crazy.
Of course.
But it's a mental health thing. It's me personally. I need to stay in a certain way, but not everybody's different. Some people prefer that.
But you and I kind of agree. So the idea is I'm probably on X, Twitter. I still say the most. And then Instagram a little bit. My Instagram feed is basically all sort of charity things and stuff like that. So I keep it very limited. Right. But I mean, you sort of pick your poison, and do that. But in a way, I think I'm sensing more people are becoming aware of the need to, as you said, put it in the other room and actually kind of really stick to that, because there are more people talking about the detrimental aspects of it now. And I guess you said your movie's not, is not, damn it, but perhaps an eye-opening look at the possibility of this kind of speculative world.
I sure hope so. I mean, it's definitely, as you mentioned before, Preston, it's a little bit weird, a little bit disturbing. I hope it's funny as well. My background was in comedy, so, it's hard to not bring that stuff over to it, but...
The vibe of seeing it, and I hate to hold things up for comparisons, but I get like a Black Mirror type of sensation from it, which I'm a huge fan of. So I'm all about that. But your comedy, you definitely try to add some humor into this. And
there's definitely some levity and some very dark humor.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny we've been doing screenings all around the country, and just to hear like in different crowds what people are laughing at, it's not always the same thing.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you talk about the blessing and the curses of social media, and I didn't know much about you until 10 minutes ago, and I am able to look at your Instagram account and show this screen that Preston can also see at the same time, and here's a photo of you and Jason Momoa, and so now I can ask you about Jason Momoa, and I wouldn't have known about that if not for Instagram. So what was that project you guys were working on?
So that sent me to the United Arab Emirates for a month in December of last year. I was actually, so my career up until this movie was usually, well, I got very lucky, and a few years ago somehow became the celebrity comedy guy. So I've had a chance to work with so many great people like Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, Zac Efron.
For a lot of commercial work?
Commercials.
So you're kind of Ridley Scott started in commercials.
That's a wonderful comparison.
There you go.
Yes, he did.
That is a good place to cut your teeth.
Yeah. No,
Zack Snyder as well.
Yeah. No, a lot of people have either that or music videos.
Right.
Like, those are, two different pathways that people take. But yeah, with that project, so I did commercials for so there's a place there called Yas Island that's a collection of theme parks, and it's just like a resort. And so we shot for 3 days, shot 5 different commercials for all different theme parks with Jason. Look, and also the experience with celebrities varies, hugely.
No doubt.
Some people,
no doubt.
they say never meet your heroes. That's really true. Sometimes, it was not a great experience, but this man, he's literally like a complete force of nature and the warmest person. So yeah, that was a great experience.
And you can't. There's only to a level you can fake that, and so we have been able to develop a somewhat friendship with Zack Snyder, who and when you see him interviewed about these people, he speaks highly of him.
Right.
Cutting your chops with commercials and getting your sense of cinema and having the comedy incorporated. This is your second feature?
This is my first.
Your first full feature?
I made a documentary.
Years
ago, but yeah, this is the first now.
So is the plan to perhaps make your something coming up soon, a comedy film?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's funny, though. I used to be, everyone would only send me comedy scripts, and I got into filmmaking to make movies like Cher, and I was like, hey, guys, I want to make dramatic, dark stuff, and I'm getting comedy stuff. Now that I made this, the comedy has stopped, and it's everyone's like, oh, thriller, sci-fi, thriller.
Sure.
So, I'm trying to carve my own path, but there's a couple projects I've really loved to make at this point.
With Cher and the unique scenario that it is where these people are in a single room by themselves, solitary, did that make it easier to direct because you don't have multiple locations, you don't have multiple sets, you don't have actors interacting with each other, 2 shots and all this stuff? It had to have been a little bit easier.
Well, easier in one sense and unbelievably difficult in another because, so basically, yeah, this is the first movie ever that is, as far as we know, that is shot from, one singular camera angle. We're behind the monitor of each of these characters, and you never leave. And so, when I started pitching it and people were like, why would you want to do this? And I was like, look, we, from COVID, have experienced this kind of, Zoom culture and isolation, right? Yeah. And I thought if I could put people behind these monitors and never let them leave, it would make the audience also feel claustrophobic like these characters. And it seems like that's worked just from the feedback that I've gotten, which is, has been great in terms of that stuff. But what was your original question? I'm sorry.
I was just was it easier production-wise to be able to do that?
So, as a director, your main tool is to move a camera. You get a close-up, whatever you need. it was like directing with both hands tied behind my back. It was like so difficult, but like so rewarding.
But at least you got to tinker with lighting a little bit, I guess. But,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
It's still there's still like for example, James Wan and with Saw, if you can bring it in, when you're dealing with limited budget and so on and so forth, and make something that I'll tell you what, and more people now are saying, we were talking earlier about Marvel and about we're genre fans, but I mean, when you're and you talk about Hollywood's inability to say, okay, this guy's this now. Hollywood, this guy's this now.
Put you in a box, yeah.
But the independent film, which is still kind of an open playing ground where you get like a Get Out or something that can really resonate. It's never. I don't think it's ever been a better time for those kind of films.
It's true. I mean, there are more opportunities to make them. I think the exhibition of them is more difficult in terms of the financials and things like that. But no, look, if you want to make a movie, you can make a movie. Like I had been trying for a really long time to make a comedy because, it was like that was my body of work. I think, honestly, maybe I just didn't want it enough because things just never materialized. This is the first thing I got back to that I really got into filmmaking to do and just made sure it happened. So
does it blow you away? Because I was reading about your co-inventor of Crew in a Box, which I find fascinating because the technology, I just bought a gimbal for my Sony camera, this thing that has AI in it. I'm like, it's blowing my mind. Explain what Crew in a Box is.
Sure. So actually, it's related to Share because when the pandemic hit and like the lockdown went into effect in LA, I panicked. I mean, everybody panicked, but I remember I was in the shower and like I had this light bulb moment where it was like, because I have this career directing celebrities, I was like, and all of production was shut down for months, like everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I can figure out a way to create a remote camera system that not only has a camera, but also lights, microphones, teleprompter, like everything. If there's a way to do this, I could get back to work very quickly.
Right.
And so I recruited a couple of friends of mine and we got to work on it. And 3 months later, we were shipping the first Crew in a Box out. And like, we worked with, I'd say like 15, 20 different networks have used us. It's basically, we ship this box anywhere in the world. As soon as it's plugged in, we get like control of the system and control all those components. So like nobody who's actually filming themselves has to do anything.
I love it. So in the initial stages when they were trying to, how are we going to get our anchor from home or whatever, or anything like that, or a performance or anything like that.
Right.
This was a one size fits all solution.
Exactly, because I'd seen everybody else where they were like sending all these pieces of equipment to celebrities to like set up and light themselves. I had heard horror stories of how that went, and then that you have to get on camera and perform. I was like, this is a recipe for disaster.
Has that continued post?
Oh yeah. We got patents on it now. Like I'm dealing with all that stuff. So yeah, it's become a whole thing.
A cottage industry could have been your full industry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So Share opens on Friday.
Right.
And you guys have a screening of it. It is tonight. And people can come out. Are you doing the Q&A after the film?
The Q&A. Okay. Yeah, the Q&A will be after the film. It's at, as you said, the PFS Bourse Theater. It's 400 Randstad. And then, on Friday, we're going to be on all VOD platforms. So like iTunes, Apple TV, Amazon, like all that stuff.
Oh, I know what I'm doing this weekend. Because this looks really cool.
Thank
this
you.
Looks.
Thanks so much.
I'm intrigued by stuff like this. It's a weird world that we're a part of, and it could get weird and out of control if it wants to go there. Now, I don't know what malevolent force is behind this and Share, and hopefully we'll find out.
Yeah, but through speculative or through science fiction, you can really expose things in a way, that sometimes just regular drama cannot.
True.
And so you get this visual impact. So, I'm guaranteed there's something malevolent.
Yes.
but I mean, just by its very nature, I wanted to just quickly, before we let you go, your main actor, Melvin Gregg, is this his first role?
No, he's so it's funny. This was a role perfectly suited for him. He like rose to stardom on Vine. I don't know if you guys remember
Vine
that,
was preceded TikTok.
Yeah, so like the 6-second clip thing. So he got big on that, and then actually Steven Soderbergh cast him in his first role. He was the lead in High Flying Bird. He's been in a lot of things since then. But
wow,
yeah.
Okay, he was Nick pulled up his IMDb. He was in The Way Back, which was the Ben Affleck, the basketball coach.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of people probably know him from his he had a villain role on Snowfall.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. All right.
Nice. Excellent. Well, listen, good luck. I'm intrigued.
Thank you.
Looks really, really cool.
Thanks so much.
And I'll definitely be watching it this weekend. So check it out. It's called Share.
Share?
With a question mark. Share.
Yes.
And opens on Friday. But get those tickets if you'd like to go and see the movie live and meet Ira and ask the questions. Philadelphia.org. 7:30. That screening is tonight. So thank you, Ira. Nice
Thank
to
you,
meet
guys. It was
All
great to be here.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. Stay with us, friend. We got some Beat File stories on the way when we return. You do need to give feedback, and lots of women don't do that.
That's right. That's appropriate, right?
Yes.
You're letting the woman know you enjoy it.
No. This is This is men wanting women to do this. This is from the men's perspective. Okay. It says a genuine moan or groan of pleasure, a whispered, that feels great.
That's great.
This is what's so terrible.
A whispered, I'll say that again. A whispered, that feels great. Excuse me.
Sorry, I had cauliflower.
Sorry.
I'm sorry I had Brussels sprouts.
I had salad balls.
Salad balls. Your little fart bombs. Is that back or front?
That's what Jackie Bam Bam calls Brussels sprouts. Salad balls. But it says a whispered, that feels great.
I don't like that at all.
We all stop doing that.
Should I call you an Uber?
It says we all thrive on positive feedback, and never is that more needed than the first time when you sleep with someone. And never is that more, the very first time you sleep with someone.
Have you ever had sex with a human?
All right, and then one last tip from guys to women.
Yeah.
It says park the post-sex anxiety. It says women often feel anxious and vulnerable after they sleep with someone for the first time. If it was sex for sex sake, the old was that slutty vibe can kick in. And if you really like them, you want to know if you or your body lived up to expectations and that it's more than just sex for him. It's fine to ask for reassurance, far preferable than assuming the worst and getting all prickly and defensive. Another post-coital glow destroyer, snuggling in and fast-forwarding the relationship before it's even started.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
All right, it's time for your exit interview.
The more relaxed you are about the whole thing, the more smitten he'll be, according to
I
this.
think that makes sense. Yeah.
Kathy, have you completely checked out of this conversation?
No, I'm listening.
Okay, all right. Be affectionate and shoot a few meaningful looks so that he knows that it meant something.
It meant nothing.
But resist hanging onto his legs as he makes for the front door.
Yeah, I think that would, in anything, it's probably bad to hang onto someone's legs.
Don't get too clingy. So those are the two perspectives of things that it's according to this article that people wish they would do the first time that their partner.
If you were to distill it down to one word, what would you say? Of
One
all
word?
Yeah. Relax.
Yeah, or communicate.
Yeah,
I think that's part of it too.
Blumpkin.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But I think communicating is key, and it can be uncomfortable at first, but once you openly talk about things, I think that's it opens up a whole new world.
It doesn't have to be spoken. You can do semaphore, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Get at the edge of the bed with your flags.
Yeah.
Hey,
with sign language.
Press, you and your wife have probably done it thousands of times.
Maybe.
Do you happen to have in your
Video?
mind? No. Well, I'm trying to finesse this out of him, Steve, so you can't just jump right into that. Do you happen to have a maybe a favorite one that you think might have been the best one you guys ever had?
In that journal? When you were watching them do it, which was your favorite?
I thought it. Well, what I thought when I was watching, I was like, if this is how they always do it, like, I just want to always be here and watch. Like, do
you happen to have one?
I have a couple in my mind.
There was one. We took a vacation to St. Thomas. St. Thomas,
John or
St. John.
Mm-hmm.
So we were St. John, and we were with our friends, the Chapmans, and we had these separate condos that were wonderful. And we tried to break like our sex record,
right?
Over the course of like
you
3
told us
days.
this not that long ago. You talked about it.
I did. Okay, so and Rochelle's nickname became Montana because she wanted to do it 49 times.
And how long?
That would hurt.
Like 3 days. It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
So her nickname became Montana because we tried to have
That's
49ers. So I thought that was fun. But that I just remembered that we enjoyed it so much, and it was a lot of fun that stands out.
That's cool.
It's like that's in Step Brothers. Where he's talking about a summer of humping. I had to ice my balls.
What about you? Name one of yours.
My favorite was on our wedding night when we made love for the first time.
Shut up.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, I'm thinking, really? Wow. That was nice.
At the beginning of the relationship, when you're basically an Olympic gymnast, and, and it's like, and those are wonderful times. And then before you know it, you're in the studio with the stuff falling off the wall.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. Anybody else want to add their favorite? Do you have favorites that stand out?
I am not answering that.
God.
I don't want to. You're making me feel
There
uncomfortable.
was one time when he brought a macaque into the room. That was interesting.
Hey, John. Preston's making me feel uncomfortable.
Facilities.
Yes.
HR facilities coming together.
All right. I thought this would just be a fun little combo to have. And if we weren't careful, we learned something.
Didn't even mention Benadryl.
In case we got to get you on one of those water jet packs.
Oh, my God. I would love that.
We've got to get you on that. So I know they do.
Where's
have
the closest one?
They've got them down there somewhere.
AC they do.
We talked about it last year or the year before, and people said that they are available in certain spots. Very, very expensive to rent. But
Are they?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's the case or
Maybe
not.
we get a knockoff one.
A knockoff jetpack. But I personally would love to go on one of those things, but I'm dying to see you on one.
You see the dudes who are able to flip down and go underwater and dive it down and come back up?
Since they've had those out now for several years, there's people that have mastered them, and they can do all kinds of spinny, wild, crazy things in the air and then dive down in and back up.
I'm afraid that I would jetpack myself right down into the water and not be able to right myself, and then just
go down to the bottom and stay there.
Yes, just continue to thrust myself.
We're watching video footage. They now have them where you can strap them on your feet.
Yeah. It's basically just a board.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I wouldn't do that one. I would not do that one.
Killed on these.
Casey, who would be more?
Just screaming down to the ocean floor.
Where's Daddy? Any kids? Anybody see Daddy?
William Shatner and his ex-wife Elizabeth are dividing up everything in their estate, from dogs to land to ashes of exes to horse semen.
Wow.
TMZ reports.
Okay, yeah, because he
loves it.
He's a breeder.
Yeah.
He loves
He puts it in his cereal.
Love horse semen.
I tell you, I love it in my cereal. It's so thick and creamy.
Wow.
There's just something about waking up to horse jizz.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth.
Spock, what's this in your coffee cup?
Elizabeth gets 2 horses. William gets all the dogs, 2 horses, and all of the horse semen. He gets
who gets the Geo?
He gets all of the horse semen and equipment, the horse semen equipment.
He gets all the dogs?
He gets all the dogs, yeah.
Seems unfair.
Semen?
It's horse semen in my big, piping hot mug of coffee.
And these are per the papers obtained by TMZ. Elizabeth gets...
Yes, I'd like a bear claw and a coffee with horse semen. You don't have horse semen? You don't know how delicious it is in a cup of coffee?
So Elizabeth, gets a Malibu and a Versailles, Kentucky home. By the way, in Kentucky, it's pronounced Versailles, not Versailles. Plus her family farm in Indiana, while he gets a ranch and their Studio City home.
But I got the semen, correct?
He gets all the semen. Their agreement also spelled out animal visitation rights because they don't have children. So
Preston, you know what I love to do? I love to drink horse semen through a crazy straw.
Crazy straw.
Through a crazy straw. It looks wild.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow. Bill Cosby changed up his legal team again. Pennsylvania-based.
That one didn't work.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He's already in jail.
I'm in jail, Lloyd. I'm incarcerated.
Bill Cosby as Mr. Cord.
For dizzle anything.
For dizzle anything. Instead of saying anything. For dizzle anything.
I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
He's holding up the boombox in the Cosby shows, right?
Oh, my God.
There is a puffy black man on the front lawn with a boombox.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, so yes, he's incarcerated. And the Pennsylvania-based attorney Joseph Green Jr., who represented Mr. Cosby during sentencing, filed court papers Friday to have himself withdrawn from the case.
So perfect.
Before we do the bizarre file, I should play that piece of audio.
Okay. It's real short.
It's very, very quick. It's not an audio illusion or anything like that. But do you know? We don't know where this is. Graduation ceremony. It looks like a college graduation.
It was
ceremony.
college graduation,
and you know, as you walk up, this is your moment. This is your family is there. It's your time to shine. You get your name said with the thousands of people in attendance. You walk across the stage. You grab your diploma that you've worked so hard for.
And paid a lot for.
Paid a lot for. This is the culmination.
And as you're walking, they announce your name.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
This is legit.
Julie
Too legit to quit.
Wait, one more time. One more time. Quiet, everyone, please. It's her moment.
Yeah.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh, my God.
Forgive me.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Julie Handjob. Forgive me, Julie Handy. Forgive me, Julie Blumpkin. Forgive me, Julie Dirty Sanchez. Oh, my God.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh.
Wow. You know what, though? That's better than just having your name read that most people are missing anyway.
You know she was called Jerk Off throughout all her life.
It had to have been a nickname at some point, or her friends.
Julie Jerk Off.
Yeah.
Or Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
If you think about
Julie oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
Or that professor won a nice bet.
Yeah.
Said she would do it. And
Julie Salad Tosser. Oh, it's not even close.
If you think about it, in high school, she probably had jerk off as a, I wouldn't even say a nickname. You know, they made fun of her.
Maybe even her friends would call her that because it's such an obvious. But
and then she gets to college where everybody matures a little bit, and she loses the jerk off for a couple of years.
It's
and
clear.
then boom.
Kirkhoff is I mean, you can come into that Kirkhoff,
dude. She's getting her master's degree. It's a Master of Science degree as she goes up and hears
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Well, and she doesn't. If this is the actual video that we're watching, she doesn't even flinch. The girl, Julie.
You know what? When they're doing it, you
couldn't even hear.
You're so excited, and you're just your focus is walk forward, shake hand, take diploma, walk off. You know, jerk off.
Jerk off.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Well,
you did very well, Miss Jerkoff.
And she sounds so sweet. The
I know.
woman reading the names.
Know. Please come up to the microphone, Julie Jerkoff, and tell everyone how you achieved your success.
Forgive me.
It's the jerk-off way, I think, that we can all emulate.
Oh, my God.
But and you know, there's countless names like that are being butchered in similar ceremonies going on. In fact, this very weekend, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There'll be mangled names.
Yep, loads of them. You realize anytime we have a caller named Julie, we will have to play
Julie Jerkoff.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
It made my day yesterday when Casey sent that to me.
So, on that one level, is it sort of cool that you have, I mean, since she's probably dealt with it her whole life, at least she has a meme now that's attached to her.
Let's see. We have a caller on the line real quick, and I'm going to go to this.
MMR.
Thanks, Kath. I just got a text from Rodney Bird, our engineer for MMR and Greater Media. For Beasley. And he's sending pictures of the Camp Out for Hunger setup. It's 6 days from today. This is how long it takes just to get this little event that we do set up. It takes a week just to get things in place for it. So he sent me and you guys pictures of the crane. It's called the Thackeray crane.
Yeah. That's the one I want to get.
That they are using to set the tent up, and it looks like they've got the walls up on it. And the generators are there. There are a lot of great people involved. United Rentals, it says on the generators, and that keeps everybody warm and keeps all the power running and all that stuff. And
our union friends.
We need a lot of power, by the way. So, it's not it ain't a little fly-by-night operation.
Do you know why they do it? And also, they do it, obviously, they put on this big military-level thing, and it all comes down to you making your food donations, because I think, as we're going to hear from our good friend Lori over there at Phil Abundance, this is a really, really critical year. And it's odd that we say that so many years.
I know.
It is just weird that Philadelphia, out of so many cities, ends up being in this sort of perpetual food desert, so to speak, and things got worse, obviously. And so, but you know what the good news is that this one event can lift that up and keep it going for a long time. So when you come down to the events, you come down, obviously, the big show we put on in the morning throughout the day, and the reinvigorated Camp Out After Dark. You make your donation. We'd love to see you. And that's what these people donate their time to set this up. We can all help feed people.
As you say, it can lift you up. Could it also raise you up?
I think it could raise
it probably
you
raise someone up.
You
raise
me
up! Shut the up! We have to do that there on that big sound system.
To get that full tent sound. You know, we couldn't do it.
Have him there live?
Yeah, but we'd have to bleep it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Josh Groban.
Me too. I was talking about Josh Groban. We could probably get. What
Mark
if we got
Summers.
him and Mark Summers together to recreate that live?
Is he still doing Sweeney Todd? Not Mark Summers, but Josh Groban.
Oh, I don't know.
He was doing Sweeney Todd
was.
on
Hey, by the
Broadway.
way, I like Josh Groban. I think he's a fun guy. He's got a great sense of humor about his own stuff.
So he'd probably appreciate the "You Raise Me Up."
Shut the up! You raise me up! Shut the up!
Shut the up! Shut the up!
We're 6 days away from the whole thing. So just get the information at PrestonandSteve.com. All right, let's go do this.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
And brought to you by me.
Thank you.
All right, how about this? A 25-year-old man was arrested inside an Iowa Target for indecent exposure, maintains he was not pleasuring himself inside the store. Instead, he claims
Kathy Romano?
Instead, he claims he was merely handling a sex toy.
Well, you have to test him out a little bit.
Deshaun Brown
this is not even like a rabbit at all.
Taken into custody, and he was released after posting a $3,000 bail. Brown was captured on surveillance cameras walking around the Target in downtown Iowa City while pleasuring himself. The affidavit claims that Brown was physically touching and stimulating his genitalia and public area for the purpose of sexual arousal.
So no one we know loves Target more than Kathy, but you would never do that, right?
Come on.
Contradicting the footage, Brown told officers that the object in his shorts was not his penis, but a dildo.
Oh.
And the affidavit...
Well, then proceed.
The affidavit counters his defense, suggesting video evidence indicates the phallic object in his hand was indeed connected to his person. Further, the document accuses Brown of not just concealing his actions under his clothing, but also exposing himself to shoppers. Recently, just 3 months prior, Brown's name was added to the state's sex offender registry. In addition, this addition was a result of a probation sentence he received lasting 2 years from December 2022 incident. In that case, he faced arrest for indecent exposure while he was seen on camera pleasuring himself at a laundromat.
He's cheating on Target.
In Iowa City. So, yeah. But maybe he was cheating on the laundromat because that was first.
That's true. If you don't give the laundromat attention.
All right, this is interesting. Out of Australia, a mountain of Lego found in a suburban drug raid is so large that police need a truck to seize it.
Lego.
Yeah, and this is a drug raid they were conducting.
I wonder what is more expensive, the drugs or the Lego?
It was on it was at a house on Melbourne's suburban fringe, and it was 1,130 boxes worth more than $200,000.
Wow!
It was found alongside a meth lab and boxes of gemstones.
Does Lego make a meth kit?
Dude, they make just about everything.
Yeah.
So police said that there were so many of the plastic building blocks that a truck will need to transport them. Needed to transport them. A 36-year-old man and 32-year-old woman were arrested, and the man was charged with trafficking, proceeds of crime, and firearms offenses. According to the police detective, he said, "This is the first time our detectives have seized a Lego collection, let alone one so large that it requires specific transportation to remove it."
Well, look, the pictures are on the screen. We have loads of boxes. I mean, you guys really know how expensive those things can be.
Very much so. Police will allege that Lego and gemstones are proceeds of crime. An Alaska suspect was arrested this week after he allegedly threatened to hunt down and kill a U.S. senator, and goes a little bit further with that. Arthur Graham was arrested Monday after he allegedly sent a graphic message to a U.S. senator who was not identified, threatening to kill them and, quote, wear their skin as clothing.
Okay.
That's a subtle message they're sending there.
Yeah, to me that seems threatening.
In the message, Graham explained that he was facing eviction and had nowhere else to go.
Some big fat person.
He also reportedly said that he was formerly homeless. Graham identified himself in the threat, signed it with his name, phone number, and address. He said, "I'm in the dark here until I get new information." And then they have the redacted senator's name. "My plan is I'm going to hunt you down, cut the flesh off your body, and wear your skin like clothes.
Well, it is cold up there.
I'll live inside of you. I may as well because I ain't got nowhere else to live." The senator's staff received the message, which was sent via the senator's website, and reported the threat to the U.S. Capitol Police, who launched an investigation. Police and the FBI then visited Graham's home. Once there, he reportedly confessed to having sent the message, told the officers he knew what he was doing so was against the law.
I don't think a skin suit would be warm, though.
He was taken into custody. Well, I mean, if you tan it, it turns out like leather. So
Do you think these guys,
you would
Buffalo?
have to line it, though.
Yeah, and they don't seem to be taking that kind of care.
Right.
What are you going to line it with, though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Wool, probably.
Yeah, good call.
The Wiggles say that they're deeply disappointed that Western Australia's largest regional city is using their music to drive homeless people away from a regularly used shelter and sleeping spot.
Oh, like they're playing the music to
Yeah.
make them go away?
The song Hot Potato is being played on a loop at the Graham Bricknell Memorial Music Show. And
I'm moving there.
What the local
Hot potato, hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato.
what the local council concedes is a bid to discourage people from loitering and congregating.
I think it was to draw people in. You talk about potatoes and spaghetti?
Cold spaghetti.
Right?
Yeah.
The soup kitchen's open.
Yeah.
That's not the only song. The other song is this one.
MMR 93.3.
Oh, the Wiggles.
Preston, Casey, Kathy, Nick, Marissa, and Steve. MMR 93.3.
Preston loves to eat those scabs.
MMR 93.3.
They love to say, well, gadzooks.
MMR 93.3.
Preston and Steve rock.
Preston and Steve, Preston and Steve, Preston and Steve rock.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That was the best.
They were supposed to come to town again. I reached out,
Yeah.
and we were moving along, and then I think their show got canceled for whatever reason. So I have to look to see if they rescheduled it or not.
Okay. We'd love to get them back in here again.
That's my musical context.
That's your jam. Yeah.
So a spokesman for the band said this decision ran counter to their song's purpose and message. They said the Wiggles' music is created to bring joy and happiness to children and families around the world. We are deeply disappointed to hear that it's being used in any other way. As of late Thursday afternoon, the song had been switched off.
Okay.
While chiefly used for concerts and public gatherings, that venue has become a makeshift shelter for the city's homeless as Banbury and the wider Southwest grapple with an unprecedented housing crisis.
I think that Baby Shark is the song most often played during waterboarding.
I had no idea. All right, and then one last story, and let's go with this one. A Florida man received a citation for his realistic booty patrol truck which is apparently too similar to the Border Patrol truck.
Two different things.
The white Chevy Silverado has a green strip on the side and the words Booty Patrol on the back, and realistic red and flashing blue lights. You can't do the flashing lights.
No,
That's
flashing
the
lights
thing.
are no.
Fans of the Booty Patrol took to the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office Facebook page to voice their support. They claim the Booty Patrol only uses its lights in music videos and not when it's on the road. One commenter said, "He's friends with my neighbor, so I see him at least once a week. I think it's cool and funny."
I do like the truck. They did a good job.
It is cool.
It definitely is a Booty Patrol.
Booty Patrol.
Yeah.
All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the Bizarre File for you this morning. All right, we have one last $50 gift card to give away from
Some of that real sticky, icky. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Mr. Stickies, and you can go to MrStickiesBuns.com. Now, our friends from the Pottstown location on Heritage Drive came in and dropped off a bunch of goods for us, including cinnamon buns with vanilla icing and Sticky Witch breakfast sandwiches, and their award-winning sticky buns and sticky buns with walnuts. So we'll take caller number 18 at 215-263 WMMR, $50 gift card for you. You can follow them on Facebook at Mr. Sticky's Pottstown for coupons and to see new menu items as well. But warning, it's extremely addictive at Mr. Sticky's. We'll be back in a second. Stay with us. Caller, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Julie.
Julie Jerkoff.
Thank you, Julie.
Our first Julie Jerkoff.
You're our first to be given the Julie Jerkoff Award. In Ireland, a radio DJ died in the middle of his morning show, the station said. Yeah. Tim Goff was his name, 55 years old, was an hour into his broadcast when the music stopped halfway through a song. The music resumed a few minutes later, but the presenter did not return to his show. The broadcaster, Gen X Radio Suffolk, later confirmed that Tim sadly died. He was 55 years old, and the rest of the story was about people offering their condolences, so I don't know what happened.
It wasn't part of their Cash Cadaver promotion, was it?
I don't think it was. Don't think it was, Steve.
Now, one of us is going to die during the day. And we're going to die on air. When we do, call in. You've won Cash Cadaver.
Dude.
That's not funny. Although he probably would get a kick out of this.
No, that's just it was his time, and it's horrific. Remember, I passed out.
Are you
on
saying
there.
he would have enjoyed that bit?
I don't know. Would any of us have enjoyed
The
it?
Cash Cadaver?
I think so.
Probably.
I mean, if I ever die on air while I'm here with you guys and you want to do a cash contest surrounding that,
Okay, will you be our Cash Cadaver?
Totally.
All right,
We're allowed? Okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys sobbing. I'm gone.
Steve, I love the voice. So Dracula
Be
comes
the
on.
11th call, and you'll be Cash Cadaver.
Oh, my God.
He didn't sound strong when he cracked the mic today. I just knew it was going to happen.
Oh, that's the actuarial.
Yeah.
That's the actuality from the
I was
winner.
waiting by my phone, and when he started coughing, I knew it was time.
This is horrible. This is terrible. That poor guy.
He just sounded weak.
That's what I knew to call.
I knew. I stayed right by the phone.
Dude. Oh, my God. To our own kind.
I know. We're horrible.
Our own kind.
Well, they shouldn't have set up the contest.
Yeah, you're right.
What is this stupid contest?
Be the 14th caller.
You're the 11th caller for Cash Cadaver.
Oh, man.
That poor rest in peace.
Totally,
Oh,
man.
my God.
It's just beyond. It's beyond the pale.
I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about that.
All right, we got a text that it should have been called the morning show, MOURN.
Ah, yeah.
No. I'm very excited to welcome once again Mr. Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Chevy, thank you for coming on.
Chevy Chase. I've never heard a voice that low in my life.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the compliment.
Yes, who is this, please?
That's Preston, who has the low voice, and I'm the bald guy, if you can see us. So I'm
That's-
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, wait wait a minute. Are you the guy with the voice?
No, Preston.
I think I'm the guy with the voice.
That was very good. I loved it.
Thank you. Hey, Chevy.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
It's wonderful to have you on. I needed to ask, you 39 years ago, you guys made the film National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And when you think back to that time when you were filming it, did you know that you had something extra special in that film and that people would still be loving it today? Because I've already watched it 3 times in the past couple of weeks.
No, I didn't like it. Bye. No, of course. Let me just say this. When I make movies, I hope that people will like it, but you don't know, really. In fact, I've been doing recently some appearances, such as the one I'll be doing in Atlantic City at Tropicana, where I'm with an actual audience of, I don't know, a few thousand people or whatever. And until that time, I've never seen my audience. Basically, you make a movie and you never know anything. Once I snuck into a theater with Dustin Hoffman when we did a movie. I just snuck in and stayed in the back to see if they'd laugh.
Right.
But I mean, really, it's the same thing with Dustin or anybody. It's just we don't know.
Well, you know what? It's become a holiday classic, and it deserves that. But I also think, in a way, it might National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation might get short shrift on the emotional level because it resonates on so many of those levels as well. I remember years ago when I was a kid, my dad was sweating out a Christmas bonus check. And so that all of that, and I think it's captured beautifully in the movie in the attic scene where and I well up at that scene. That is a beautiful scene. How did that come together?
Oh, that's funny you should ask that. Well, it's not that funny, but we were in Breckenridge, Colorado on a ski slope shooting the very first scene in the movie where I'm going down the hill, and which you'll notice and see if you watch it. But it suddenly a blizzard hit us, and we were supposed to go back to L.A. and start shooting, and we ended up having to stay there. So the bed and breakfast that we were in had an attic. And we thought, well, let's try out their attic, which we did. That's where we shot it.
Wow.
In their attic. And I was happy to find, a couple of boards I could stand on that would hit me in the back of the head and in the front of the head and, whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's how we did it. And then at the end of that scene, might be interesting for those who watch it, I look out a window outside and see my family either arriving or driving away or something. That was shot in L.A. because if I looked out that window in Breckenridge, I would just see other houses and naked people. No, I lied.
No, but Steve's right. And I watched this movie the first time I was a teenager, and now I'm a father and I have 3 kids, and so the movie kind of on a few different times hits differently now as a father. And, somebody who prepares to make sure that, Christmas morning is as magical for my kids as it was for me. So, yeah, that one scene in particular is it's great. But I always get surprised that when I can laugh at the same joke over and over again. And Chevy, the scene with you and the lady at the lingerie counter, it does not. Every single time I watch it, I'm like, I cannot believe that I'm like legit laughing out loud at the same joke over and over again. And when she says, "Can I take something out for you?" and you just start laughing, I laugh along with you. And
I know. I'm not going to say it on the air here, but
thank you.
No, I love that part. And then you can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Is it lost on you at all that, and you have to be aware of this, that people quote you all the time? Like, I can't go play around the golf without using one of your lines from Caddyshack.
Fletch, everything, yeah.
Christmas time, there's always, Fletch. I have 2 Fletch sound clips that I play. You can hear these. Hey! And this one, I use those clips all the time, and it's just these little subtle things. Is it lost on you that you're part of people's everyday vernacular?
No. Well, it's lost on me, and that nobody tells me this except
Us.
A sad guy like you.
No, I'm happy.
Honestly, you know, I suppose I make those movies just for that reason. I'm different than other people who are quote comedians, and I say what maybe my dad would have thought was funny, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm amazed at people's reactions, and I love it because he made me laugh a lot. So there you are.
No, that makes sense. There's a wonderful, and I just in research for talking to you, I checked out, did some reading and watched a video. There was a video of you with your daughter and your wife watching. This is a couple of years ago. You're watching the movie, and it was phenomenal because it's your daughter and you looking at each other, especially in the lingerie scene, and she's like, "Oh, Dad!" You could just see it on her face, and you give her this loving look, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I also have 3 children, and they're my daughters. Of course, they're now in their 30s, but yeah, we're a very close family. This is where I live. This is what I do. I live with my wife and 3 daughters, and God, do I love them all. They're just the best. And
Tom Petty on 93.3 WMMR. Everything that rocks. 7 minutes after 10. Nice day today. Temps are up. Going up to about 70 degrees. Wonderful. We're supposed to see some blue sky at some point. Cloudy right now, but maybe clearing up late in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock. Which, by the way, 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's nighttime now.
Sure.
Or it's close enough.
Make sure, when you put your Christmas lights up, it'll be that much more impressive.
Well, you get more. Yeah, you get more enjoyment out of that.
I like that.
And that gets us in the Camp Out for Hunger mode.
Yes.
Too, with the shorter days and everything. Which, by the way, speaking of putting up your Christmas lights, holiday lights, whatever you're going to do, today, 70 degrees. Thursday, 70 degrees. Mid-50s through the weekend. This is time to do it.
You could put stuff up and just don't turn them on until you're good to go.
I'm cool with that.
Yep.
I don't mind that at all. The going ahead and putting the lights up, but just to hold on just a bit till Thanksgiving,
So
and then flick the switch.
Yeah, my full Halloween display is up. I have not turned on the lights on it now because I have to. It's elaborate taking it down, and then I'm going to convert immediately. The demon becomes Santa Claus.
I did not see this myself, but Rochelle told me she saw a photo. It may have been on Facebook. I don't know what. Great idea, though. The giant skeletons, which you see, everybody's got them now, which they look great. Somebody had, it is now putting up Christmas lights.
Oh,
There you
I
go.
love that.
In the tree.
Yeah.
Great idea, right?
So we have a Grim Reaper statue that's in our house. It's in our foyer, and that becomes the ghost of Christmas future.
That's all you need. You got to just think on your toes.
Okay. What are we doing? Oh, lesson question. And we are going to give away a 4-pack of tickets for Tinseltown. Talking about all these Christmas lights and stuff. The question that we will ask you this morning is, who is Zachary Zane's brother? 215-263-WMMR. Now, not really. Don't go looking up Zachary Zane to see if he's got an actual brother. That's not the answer. The answer is almost never what it really is when we're talking about the lesson questions. Just see if you heard something said earlier on the program. So, who is Zachary Zane's brother according to our program? 215-263-WMMR. Call right now.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, before we give the goodies away, we'll get some stories from Steve Morrison. What's up, Steve?
Well, friends are reportedly worried about O.J. Simpson, who was described as frail and dispirited as he arrived in Las Vegas over the weekend. One friend says that O.J. has finally realized that his best days of killing are behind him.
Oh my God.
You gotta, it happens. Tan Mom, Patricia Krenzel, announcing she's running for the U.S. Senate in Florida. Krenzel says she's running to ensure access to tanning beds for pasty white babies.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And finally, actress Terry Copley posting a YouTube video explaining that she broke up with John Stamos years ago because his mother told her he would never marry her. Copley says she became so depressed that she impaled herself on Tony Danza's penis. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All righty. We'll see if we can get the answer to the question. Oh, that
was the sponsor, yeah.
Okay.
The trash was brought to you by Horizon Services.
I thought so.
It's easy to buy a new home comfort system with Horizon's Fall into Savings event, and you can get up to $1,500 back on qualifying systems and up to 20% off select new system installs. Visit horizonservices.com. All right, we will go to the phone and see if we can get an answer to this. Who was Zachary Zane's brother? And we will go to Jack to see if we can get the answer. Hi, Jack. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Jack, who is Zachary Zane's brother?
I believe it is Zappa Zane.
Is it close enough?
I think he could have heard it and just thought that's what was said.
All right, it's close enough. We're going to give it to you. It's Zappa Zane. So hang on a second. This is why. Hang on. Caught in pouring rain.
Being caught in the pouring rain.
Zappa Zane.
Yeah. There it is.
It's the family theme song.
Being caught in the pouring rain.
All right, so Jack got it right, and he's going to get a 4-pack of tickets to Tinseltown Holiday Spectacular. By the way, I forgot, there is a full music video for this song of Casey in the front of One Bala Plaza.
Black and white.
Black and white, little more weight on back then. But he looks cute as hell, as our
Long
Casey
hair.
boy does. Long hair.
Totes adorbs.
So we're going to give him, by the way, the Tinseltown tickets, and it's coming to South Philly at FDR Park this winter. Visitors of all ages will feel the magic of the holiday season as they stroll through a spectacle of lights, dine in festive treats and beverages, and also you can meet Santa Claus.
Oh my God!
And much more. Tickets are now available at tinseltownholiday.com. Use the code WMMR20 and you get 20% off. All right, music news. Here we go.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Monster Mania 57. It's this weekend in Oaks, Pennsylvania with Alice Cooper, Scream Reunion. The stars of Five Nights at Freddy's and more. Tickets are on sale now. MonsterMania.net. Steve Morrison will be there.
I'm going to be there.
Disturbed posted a photo with Ann Wilson of Heart announcing that they had shot a video together for Don't Tell Me. And drummer Mike Wengren said the idea for the power ballad to be a duet came from David Dreamin. In an interview, Wengren said he just had one person in mind, and that was Ann. It was a no-brainer. He said, hey, let's hit up Ann. Let's see if she'd be into it. And she was on board right away, and we didn't even have to convince her. Set to be Disturbed's next single. It was written about guitarist Dan Donegan's divorce.
Dan Donegan's divorce?
Yes, and it's from their latest album, Divisive. So
it's more about the detrimental dilemma that Dan Donegan's divorce.
Dan Donegan's divorce from the album Divisive.
Yeah.
And the video has not been released as of yet. Let's see what else we have.
Yeah.
Out now is Christmas Classics, New and Old, a holiday set from Creed and Alter Bridge guitarist Mike Tremonti. The set features 10 songs sung in the same style as 2022's Tremonti Sings Frank Sinatra. It includes an original Christmas Morning, as well as a cover of Donny Hathaway's This Christmas. Tremonti says that he hopes to see his recordings become staples of the holiday season, along with other favorites that he's enjoyed over the years. He worked on Christmas classics with Sinatra collaborator Carrie Deadman and many of the musicians who worked on the previous album. Tremonti is currently on the road with Alter Bridge in South America. Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden released a new solo single. It's titled Afterglow of Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
In a press release, it's described as a dramatic and epic...
Ragball.
Dickinson said,
Rag'em.
as befitting its title.
Rag'em.
It's a heavy song, and there's a great big riff driving it.
Rag'em.
But there's also a real melody in the chorus. It displays.
Rag'em.
I love that guy.
That displays the light and shade that the rest of the album brings, and just wait until you see the video. The song is from his solo album, The Mandrake Project, and it'll be released December 1st. And he's announced that he'll be touring Europe next summer to promote it. Last bit of information, a classic jukebox gifted by Elton John to John Lennon and a muscle car owned by Slash are among the toys of the wealthy that's up for auction this month. The circa 1947 Wurlitzer model 1015 jukebox was gifted to Lennon one Christmas by the Rocket Man and displayed in the club room of Lennon's apartment at the Dakota.
Is this one of these Wurlitzers that has the liquid flowing through it?
Haven't seen a picture of it.
Yeah, because that
quite
is one
possibly.
That is, I think, the most collectible Wurlitzer jukebox.
The auction house is not sure of the year. The 57-inch tall Nickelodeon is accompanied by 18 original 78 RPM records. The current high bid is $25,000, but the winning post is expected to reach $100,000. Which is conducting live at Julian's Auctions at Hard Rock Cafe in Nashville the 16th through the 18th. That would be a pretty awesome piece of memorabilia to have.
You kidding? I mean, they sell knockoffs that, kind of approximate, but if you had a legitimate Wurlitzer.
Well, one that was gifted from Elton John to John Lennon, that's the thing that sells it on me.
What the hell is this?
I have over the years thought about getting a jukebox, but I just don't.
Would you use it?
That's the thing.
Chuck has a few of them, I think.
It wouldn't be practical enough.
If you got one, would you prefer for it to be vinyl or CD?
Vinyl. I'd want it to be old. I'd want it to be a refurbished.
The way Chuck has it.
Legit, old school. Because you can listen to music anytime on a variety of different formats. But to be able to do that would be pretty damn cool.
See the mechanism work, put the record on, all that stuff. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
I went out to breakfast all by myself a few months back. I went to the place called Gateway Diner. It's a place
by myself.
Honey, guess where I am? I'm at a breakfast place. I did it all by myself.
You sounded like a kid when you
I
said
know.
that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But it was a place that my dad would take me, and it was one of those diners that had a jukebox at every booth.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have them anymore. They were all gone. I was like, oh, man.
Dude, I used to play. As an adult, I played with those friggin' things.
Yeah.
For those who want to drive like a rock star, the 1966 Corvette Stingray Coupe, once owned by Slash, is up for bid again. After having been previously sold more than a decade ago, the Vet could fetch up to $200,000.
Wow.
Slash said, it's the first real car I ever actually owned back when Guns N' Roses made any money. He said, before that, I had a Honda CRX, but that doesn't count as a real car. All the important stuff is original, and it runs killer. I hate to part with it, but it never gets driven. I'm always on the road. He said, wow. Nick pulled up a picture of it. That is that is probably my favorite body type. I think that's like the C3. I'm not 100% sure.
EPO.
But like that 65, 66, that's my favorite style of Corvette. I love the way that thing looks. So it's the odometer only has 35,164 miles on it. And it looks like, no, it's not the split back, but
look at that. Here's a better picture of it, Preston.
Oh, that's a sexy car.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. For Beatles fans looking to feel like a band on the run, an original, fully restored 1953 Bristol KSW double-decker bus used by Paul McCartney and Wings in the 1972 Wings Over Europe gigs.
Time for a snack.
It's also up for grabs.
That's the wrong one.
Okay.
Could fetch as
What the hell
much
was that?
as $300,000.
Who wants a snack?
The current bid is at $70,000. You know, they always say these. They always go with all right. The current bid is $70,000.
Yeah.
We're expecting $300,000. It'll go for $1.2 million.
Right.
That's way.
They're a bunch of crap. Would you? Obviously, a huge Beatles fan. Do you have any Wings memorabilia?
No. No.
Yeah.
I mean, when I collected Beatles stuff back when I was a kid, I'm sure I had some Wings pictures and albums.
You don't have a
and
Dallas
things like
Elliott jersey or anything like that?
I'm sorry?
Dallas Elliott?
Oh, Dallas Elliott. Former goaltender.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Wings. That's right.
There you go.
Somewhere I do.
We'll see.
McCartney has said the idea of being stuck in a bus all the time, going from city to city, hotel.
It's horrible! In a goddamn bus! Do you know who I am?
He said going to hotel wasn't too appealing.
What am I, Danny Partridge?
So we decided to travel around in an open-top bus.
It is cool.
And got some sunshine, and as we traveled from one place to another. That's a Pierre mobile right there.
Oh, my God. The Peter Max illustrations on the side.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Awesome. So if you want to buy this stuff, it's going up for auction starting on, I believe I said the 16th. So get
You have some extra cash in your couch.
your checkbook ready. All right, and that's the last item in music news. We're going to take a break and come back in a moment. We will give away our Tattoos Day prize. So if you haven't texted tattoo to 39333 yet, do it. This is the last chance at winning. And we'll wrap up the program, Letter Day, Word of the Week, prize, and more. Stay with us.
Not to say that I was dying or something, but just, I just, that's it. I mean, I was looking at my wife this morning. I was in bed on top of her. No, I was in bed. No, I just look over, I peek over to what her side of the bed, and she's out like or something, and I just love her.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand that. What I also love, Chevy, so you love the actual describing the movie, and people are going to go see you. You're going to get your money's worth because you have tons of stories. And I did not know that the house featured in the Christmas Vacation was actually the same house used in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Well, that's right. Once we went to L.A. after getting out of that place, we had a place called the Warner Ranch. It was right across from Warner Brothers Studios. And there must have been 12 or so houses that they would use over the years. And we picked one that had a great lawn. And on the lawn, by the way, there was a toilet, just a toilet. You mentioned Lethal Weapon. That I believe there was a toilet scene at the very end where Danny
Glover.
Danny Thomas. What?
Danny Thomas, Danny Glover. Danny Glover's on the toilet. Yeah.
Like the toilet explodes or something.
Yeah.
So I said, that's got to be the house for us. And the property people had clearly forgotten to remove the toilet or just said, heck with it, and they got another house. And so I had our property people please remove the toilet from the lawn. And then there's this scene, it's like one of the first scenes in the movie in which I fall off the roof, setting the lights up.
Right.
And I land behind this bush, and I landed on the toilet. Nobody saw that. But that's where the property people this time put it.
Oh, my God.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, we are going to have, there's one of the stars of Christmas Vacation actually still lives in this area, and we're going to have her in studio on Monday. The young girl who played Ruby Sue, Ellen Latson's going to be here on Monday.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, so
what a little kitty.
Yeah, well, she's a grown-up now. Do you have any memories of shooting any scenes with her? Because you guys did have that really touching scene.
Beautiful.
When you were
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus, yeah.
Yeah. We went out together after that.
That's cool.
I'm kidding.
That would have been illegal at the time.
I know, I would have been. I'll say. No, she was a lovely girl. I can't remember exactly what Ruby Sue ended up doing because I sort of lost track of her. But her name is Ellen.
Yeah.
And I hope for the best for her. She was terrific fun. Yeah.
Talking about speaking of the cast, when the entire family is at the Griswolds, look at the lineup of people that were in that living room: John Randolph, Diane Ladd, E.G. Marshall, Doris Roberts, Randy Quaid, of course, William Hickley, the great Mae Questel. What a group of actors! That just must have been.
Don't forget Beverly D'Angelo.
Beverly D'Angelo, of course.
Yeah, in trouble.
And
no, you're right. Mae Questel and John Randolph was my dad. Mae Questel. Yeah, a great group of really good actors. William Hickley was a teacher, and some of the greatest actors went to his school.
I think at that point he just won the Oscar for it. Was it Prizzi's Honor?
No, I didn't win it for that one, but I won it for the.
No, he did.
Oh, that's correct. I'm so sorry. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Well, having that cast at that level of capability, for in supporting roles, just made everything that much better. Now, the legend has it that you also incurred an injury during the tirade sequence with the front lawn decorations that were not working with you. Is that true?
Well, that's right. It was a rant when I was ranting about how I couldn't get the, things together and all that. And I just, from out of nowhere, decided to kick these reindeer that were on the lawn, punch them.
Right.
Because I was angry at everything. And that wasn't supposed to be in the movie. I just did it, and the camera followed me.
No.
And I came back with a broken finger after doing it. I thought it was like made of mud or something. I didn't know what it was made of, but it certainly didn't absorb anything except my bones.
Speaking of rants, when you finally, when the dam breaks and you realize, Clark is not going to get the bonus, and you go on that, bug-eyed, fish-eyed, blah, blah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Was that, had you written all that out yourself and rehearsed all of that, or was some of that just coming off the cuff while you were going through that?
No, we wrote it. Actually, I wrote it, come to think of it. And each one of those adults watching me do it, had a little card on the front of their.
That is great.
You can't see. You can look for it, but you can't see it, and so that's why I put all those words, because I couldn't remember them all. It was just too many.
And that's
a great thing to know.
That's what I was wondering, because it is a lengthy string of like pseudo profanities.
That's wild.
That were just all over the place. They were bizarre.
That's Brando had. That was the thing Brando did during The Godfather. He had the actors he was facing. They had cue cards on them. Because that's a string of things to remember, but it's one of the seminal scenes. And correct me if I'm wrong, Beverly D'Angelo has an improv physically when the SWAT agents come through the windows, correct?
Oh, did you say erect?
Yeah, it pertains to that.
Oh, you said correct, yeah. No, you're right. That just sort of happened. I did not feel a thing, just for those who might watch the movie. But which made me cry inside.
Oh.
I did not feel a thing, but that's just Bev. She just happened to do that, and so you'll see it in the movie.
That's beautiful.
You guys have such a chemistry, and we talked to her just recently, and that's. And there's obviously a real friendship there, and in that moment when you first met her and you were doing the first movie. Did you try with anyone else? Was it just were you kind of just paired with Beverly D'Angelo right from the get-go and realized you had that chemistry?
Not paired. I paired.
You paired.
I interviewed quite a few girls for that role.
I see.
And Bev just seemed right away. So I chose that girl.
And I saw that you and her and Christy Brinkley were was it Comic-Con recently, or it was a convention?
Oh, a few days ago, yeah.
Does that does that happen from time to time? Some of the national the vacation family kind of run into each other here and there.
Not really. That just happened to be. I know. Why did that happen to be? It did anyway.
Yeah.
Christy and Bev are quite a couple. I won't even get into it. It's too funny.
That's awesome.
I say Randy Quaid is, of course, amazing in it, and Randy's taken some turns since the movie. But that he comedically, for a guy who's also a tremendous actor, a dramatic actor, he just ate that role up. Was some of your dialogue improv with him as well?
I backed off a little bit and turned your volume off. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we lost you for just a second.
You were saying Randy?
Randy Quaid.
I was about to say that Randy, if it weren't for Randy, I wouldn't make those movies. As you said, he's a brilliant actor, period.
Monkey Wrench, Foo Fighters. I remember the first time I ever heard that song, I'm like, all right, on board. Definitely. And then a gazillion years later, they're still cranking out songs like that. I love it. It's 10:30. It's a Tuesday morning. It is a very mild day today. High of about 70 degrees. May not quite feel like that yet because we got a lot of cloud cover, but it's supposed to be clearing up, I don't know, like 3 o'clock, something like that, just, shortly before the sun goes down, unfortunately. But the sunsets, and I mentioned this the other day,
gorgeous,
have just been stunning lately.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the sunrises have been beautiful too. So, everything.
Write a song about sunrise and sunset.
All beautiful. Sunrise, sunset. Who did that?
Is that
Fiddler on the Roof?
Fiddler on the Roof, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Man of
It's from
Fiddler.
it's from the soundtrack.
Man Who Munches the Fiddler on the Roof.
From the show. All right, let me see. We should thank our guests. We had some really good guests today. Our buddy Greg Harris, President, CEO, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and recap some of the induction ceremony. It took place on Friday. Disney Plus, you can see the whole thing now. It's like a little over 4 hours long, but they're going to chop that down, and on New Year's Day, you'll have a 3-hour version of it. Should be solid stuff.
That's
and Jimmy Page, first time performing in 8 years.
Huge.
Yeah, so.
Huge.
Nice to have Greg on. And then a new friend, Ira Rosensweig.
Yeah.
Or Rosensweig. I think I'm
Rosensweig.
Swig, yeah. See, the S is missing.
I know. Rosensweig.
But this movie that he wrote and directed looks pretty damn cool. It's called Share. Share?
Yeah.
With a question mark. It's in theaters on Friday, in select theaters on Friday, and they're screening at the Boers tonight. And you can go to philadelphia.org to get information. But kind of Black Mirror, technology, Twilight Zone-y.
Love it.
Looks really cool, and Bradley Whitford is in it, so looks awesome. So we thank Ira for coming by this morning. And Pierre Robert is here.
Yay!
Yay!
Very nice. So I heard the interview. Guy was great. Is there any reference to Cher in it?
No.
S-H-A-R-E.
Oh, okay.
He does say, if I could turn back time, I would be out of this cell. No.
Half-breed.
Yeah. Oh, I love to hate the word. Both sides been against.
Tramps and thieves.
I hear it from the people in the town. They call us.
You know, I saw her a couple of years ago. God bless her. She's 70-something, and she's got legs to kill. And she's still wearing that outfit with the one with the sailor thing, I guess.
If I could turn back time,
and she's
I
running
see
around
you.
the stage in that, bathing suit with fishnet stockings on. And I'm going, holy man.
I was really digging in on a song the other day. I had one of my playlists going, and the Beat Goes On came on. And I'm like, man, this is a cool tune. It was Sonny and Cher.
And that's done with the Wrecking Crew, too.
Great
That's
song.
right.
Yeah.
She also, in her, last time she was touring anyway, did a duet. They'd bring a screen down with Sonny, and she'd do I Got You Babe with him.
Listen, one of my favorite television movies or television moments of all time was on Letterman, and Sonny and Cher. This is in the 1980s, probably late 80s. They were just doing an interview, and of course you got Paul Schaefer in the band right there, and Dave's going, why don't you guys do I Got You, Babe?
I Got You, yeah.
And Cher's kind of rolling her eyes.
She was not into it,
and
yeah.
The band starts playing the song. They wander over there, and they just killed it. And by the end of it, she's
totally
so
into it.
happy and so glad she did it.
And she
It was-
later referenced that, Preston, and she was so glad she had that memory because she didn't feel her voice was, ready for that. But it is one of the great moments,
I get goosebumps when I watch it.
If you want to see a heartfelt eulogy, her eulogy for Sonny Bono, they had been separated they'd been divorced for a long time, but they came through something together, and there would be no Cher without Sonny Bono, and vice versa. But it's great.
Well, she had great loyalty to her former beaux. She also went to Greg Allman's funeral, and she was only married to him a very brief amount of time. And she really loved these guys that she was with, even though it didn't always work out. But I loved the fact that she went to Greg Allman's funeral. So, I think she's cool.
Yeah. And now I'm thinking about the Sonny Bono funeral. Chaz Bono was there and was like, oh, look, all the wives are here. It's like four of Sonny's exes all sitting in the front row together.
A couple of years ago, we were just doing for one of the presidential elections and wanted to get, we called some voting thing to see if we could get some people to talk to us, just to encourage people to vote. And they said, would you like Cher? And I go, yes. And 2 days later, the hotline rings, and it's effing Cher.
Oh, man.
Going, you got to get out and vote. Voting is very important. And I'm going, can we just spend another hour? Because there's so much I want to cover, but only had
I gotta go
7 or 8 minutes with her. But by the way, today is voting day.
Yes.
Election day for they're smaller, more regional things, school board things, state senators. But it's a
There's
good
also
thing.
Supreme Court judge,
Right.
state Supreme Court judge. There's
Right.
a lot of importance.
Yeah, and so-
the school boards, that's what we're voting for.
Very important. School boards, all that stuff makes a huge difference. So get out and vote today.
Without question. And it's Share is the movie.
Share.
Yes, not the other show.
Thank you.
All right, letter of the day. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
E as in energy.
All right, and we got 2 letters, 3 to go. $500 from the Bagster. Yeah. The Bagster is by far the.
They love that, by the way. The
They
bags are
have
good.
to.
Yeah.
The most convenient and affordable way to help with your home cleanup. And you can go buy it in any home improvement store. Fill it and simply schedule your collection, and it's gone. Clean it up with the Bagster, dumpster, and a bag. Real quick, I forgot to thank our friends at Mr. Stickies.
Yeah!
From Pottstown for bringing by all
Some of
this
that real sticky, icky. Ooh, wait.
sticky buns this morning. And they're at 600 Heritage Drive in Pottstown. You can check them out at Mr. Stickies Buns.
Amazing. Amazing. What was the sandwich you had?
It was called the Sticky Witch.
Sticky Witch.
Yeah. And it was wonderful. So we thank those guys. Hey, today's Tattoo Tuesday. Let's do this giveaway before we thank our friends and find out what's coming up tomorrow. I would like to congratulate Shane Hampel from Glenolden, Pennsylvania. And Shane is getting a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. So Tattoo Tuesday on the President Steve Show is presented by Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. Artwork samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. I will thank our sponsors. The President Steve radio program today has been brought to you by Duncan. The President Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Wilmington University. Find your education home at Wilmington University, wilmu.edu. Tomorrow on this very program, we will do our Wednesday stuff, the secret text word, Fox Good Day, and Art the Clown.
Yes.
David Howard Thornton, which is from the Terrorizer.
Terrifier 1 and 2, and they recently announced the third one. He is going to be at Monster Mania Con, and our friend Dave got us the interview. Art the friggin' clown.
Is he going to be here?
No, he's going to be on the phone.
Okay.
But
all
he'll be here on the weekend, and I'm going to be at the Monster Mania Con as well.
All right, so Art the Clown, psychotic character without question. All right, that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.
Preston